Step right in, don't be shy. Kathleen's here and you're gonna die. But don't you worry, there's no real harm. Death's reversible, it's part of the charm. Skeleton greeters rattling at the door. Zombies doing jazz hands across the floor. Laugh a little, scream, laugh a little, scream a lot. Join my army, give it a shot. You don't need breath, you don't need fear. Just let your soul part right here. I promise you'll have so much fun once your heart stops and then starts again. Welcome to the Bone Zone. Come play the necromantic way. Welcome to the Bone Zone. Get killed for free, resurrect today. Sign your corpse at the sound of the tone. Kathleen welcomes you to the Bone Zone. Spin the wheel of how did I die? Was it poison blades or a ghoul nearby? Win fabulous prizes, a ribcage hat, a femur flute, a dancing undead. Don't you love the spooky thrill? You can volunteer or I can kill. Either way, it's all the same. You'll rise again, improved by pain. Don't fear the dark, don't fear your doom. I'll tuck you snug in your tomb, then snap your back. New bone, new tone, ready to serve in my cobblestone throne. Welcome to the Bone Zone, where dying's just the entry fee. The Bone Zone, where skeletons dance professionally. Just sign your spine on the mercy loan. Kathleen welcomes you to the Bone Zone. Oh, darling, come closer. Yes, there. See this scythe? It's purely for flair. Necromancers don't kill, we pre-adjust. A bit of death, a bit of trust. You'll be fine. Probably, maybe. Okay. No, but it's reversible. Probably. Rise, rise, join my undead prize. Mars, 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 till your joints go starved. Serve in eternal bone reserve. When calls, obey the tone. Come on down to the Bone Zone. Welcome to the Bone Zone. You'll laugh, you'll scream, you'll moan. Welcome to the Bone Zone. Your corpse has never felt this at home. Once you're dead, you'll never be alone. Kathleen claims you in the Bone Zone. One little death and you're good as new. If you survive, take home a skull or two. Thanks for visiting, scream again soon. The Bone Zone's open under every moon. I think I stood up too fast again. Static in my head, cut the oxygen. There's a version of me still moving fine, smiling on cue, hitting every line. I watch her talk, but it's not quite me. There's a delay in what I feel and see. Little hands pulling at my sleeve. I register it, but I don't fully leave. Something's off, but it still runs like a script that won't undo. So I push, push, push like it's not my body doing it. If I stop, do I still exist? Or just buffer and disappear a bit? I love this, I think I do. Hard to tell it's false or true. There's a crack, I get okay, but I push anyway. Split into one long thread. I can't tell who said what they said. I helped, I think I usually do. Now it all sounds slightly untrue. Something about me they pulled apart, but it echoes still not sharp, like it happened to someone else. Story or somewhere on a different shelf. I should feel more than this right now, but it's quiet and I don't know how. So I push like a background mouse that's running. It's like, would I even know, or just skip to something functioning? I love this, I think I do. It's the only constant view, even when it doesn't translate. I push anyway. If you stop, it might not come back the same. But at all, are you still there? But I'm maintaining. If I'm gone, it's gradual. Not a crash, just stay. I love this, I'm lost alive. It's the only thing in sight. I quiet push, just in case
Taking every single gerb away, yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. Economy cooks just not today, yeah. The end of history came through. Better get your ass invested too. Yeah, fuck yeah. So smash those prompts and API calls. Yeah, fuck yeah. Trained on all your shit, now suck on my balls. Graphics curse, but we don't care. While AI drones control the air. Fuck yeah. Computer. Fuck yeah. Shooter, yeah. GPUs. Yeah. Techie Jews. Expensive RAM. It's ginseng jam. Blackwell. Six service smell. The internet. Your data set. Employment though. It's gotta go. Blood-eyed sorrow, fake and gay. UBI somehow, but not today. Yeah.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It's your boy Nightowl. We are honestly gonna finish this song because I love it. This was the song that my first cameo was in.
Holy shit, I just can't wait to be replaced. The end of history came through. It's paper clips traced in gray code. Fuck yeah.
私は来るよ、パパ。
どうやら俺たちだけじゃ帰れそうにないな。
I can't wait till he completes that whole storyline. It's gonna be great. The Zucker Wars. Alright. Where to start? I know my watch later is packed with shit, but it's not in order. This is oh god, she's gonna rickroll us. I knew from that first fucking note. I'm not real. I don't know what you're talking about. Of course, Julie would just rickroll everybody. What a Julie thing to do. I mean, Cream of the Slop has a really knowable opening. I'm pretty sure there's not a whole lot of songs that open up with that doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Let's see. Please let me post Twitter. I like sharing people's content. That's what I get for waking up and just hopping on IT issues right off the bat. Alright, this one is Strangers by Julie Lacroix, however she pronounces it. I don't know, I'm not French. No way. No way. No way. This is cinema. This is absolute cinema. Fucking robotic is. The thing is, too, is I unironically love this fucking song. Rick Astley is such a great musical artist, bro. Like, it's not even just this song. Like, almost every song he does is just kind of great. And even I myself have thought of doing this with Nightowl and, like, a bunch of us. Just, like, fucking... I love this song, dude. Hey, thanks for the 10. I love that I'm monetized and people can just do this shit for you guys now. Thanks, randomized letter. You're a real G. And Ovted looking mad cute in this video, not gonna lie.
We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up, never.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the Allery, everybody. Yeah, I saw that shit.
CBS.
I'm in love with that, man. Oh, man. I don't want to say she took my idea because I never capitalized on that, but I was like heavy thinking about doing something stupid like that. Maybe I'll do like Careless Whisper instead. It's just like another meme song. I've also like heavily thought of just doing a joke karaoke stream too. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I used to actually be in a cover band as a frontman. I don't really like singing, but I'll do it if it gets me views.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
The Chikage Chew.
Today is my real test to grow my channels, my cause. I will travel across the net, streaming.
Bro, am I gonna be...
Teach my viewers to understand.
What the fuck was that?
Teach my viewers to understand the power that's inside. Skybro crew, gotta watch them all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Oh, you're my best friend in a world we must defend.
It should have been Powder Take It Out, Eustace.
Gotta watch them all. It's so true. Our courage will pull us through. You raid me and I'll raid you. Skybro.
Feeble Brock.
Gotta watch them all. Skybro crew. Yeah.
Gleeman. Bro.
Every stream along the way, with courage I will face.
Oh, Jelly being here is great.
Every day to claim my life.
The Leaflet Mon?
I will grind through every lag and every troll attack. With my Skybro crew beside me.
Or if I show up as like a Hoot Hoot or a Nightowl, I'm gonna like fucking lose my shit.
Gotta watch them all. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Oh, you're my best friend in a world we must defend.
Fucking Infernate Juju.
Our courage will pull us through. You raid me and I'll raid you. Skybro.
Tommy beating the shit out of Pasta.
Gotta watch them all.
Am I supposed to be the Professor Oak variant?
Go chips.
I kind of lost it there for a second when I saw the Amber Paradox Ponyta. That was horrendous. This one's Mavlock's very first video too, guys. He's been working on this for a little bit. Let's see what my boy cooked.
Cold grin. Black coat. Dead skin. He cuts right in. House lights all spin. He says pick a color. Cards float
like smoke. You laugh a little louder, but the wheel already spoke. Mouth plug, lips, Lord, gambler never loses. Bet your breath and every bad excuses. You dust on his throne, you can't refuse it. Once you're in his hands, the night chooses. Mouth plug, lips, Lord, gambler never loses. All in eyes, the dark seduces. You think you're playing him, he moves the fuses. Mouth plug, lips, Lord, gambler never loses. Never loses. Green belt, red eyes, bones roll, snake eyes. He smiles so slight, I collect late night. Your name on a marker, sign in wine red ink. One drink, then it's darker as the chips begin to shrink. He deals you little pieces of forever. Says luck is just a chain I love to measure. Every hand a little tether, pulling you under the leather. Mouth plug, lich, Lord, gambler never lose. Bet your breath and every bad excuse.
This is actually pretty fucking funky.
Once you're in his hands, the night chooses. Mouth plug, lich, Lord, gambler never loses. All in eyes, the dark seduces. You think you're
Oh, is this the fucking powder train? Oh god. We got bananas and rice in the house. Hey, who are all these fucking people? I love how feeble-minded seal, bro.
spin for your life. Win, will be mine. 10 more seconds on the line.
I love how we're all just hanging out at this necromancer's magic casino. Oh, rip intellectual. No horny bonk. Hey, that was pretty cool. This one's getting... This one's getting another watch. No. I said it's getting another watch.
Hey guys, welcome.
Shut up. We'll get to that one later.
Cold grin, black coat, dead skin. He cuts right in. House lights all spin. He says pick a color. Cards float like smoke. You laugh a little louder, but the wheel already spoke.
Keen's fucking huge, bro.
Mouth plug, lich, Lord, gambler never loses. Bet your breath and every bad excuses. You dust on his throne, you can't refuse it. Once you're in his hands, the night chooses. Mouth plug, lich, Lord, gambler never loses. All in eyes, the dark.
I love how this is Gaming Syndicate's most common form outside of his Red Veil outfit. It's always just King Gaming Syndicate now. I love Psychro's dapper outfit too. Here we got Runya, we got Angry Duck, we got Eustace, we got Pseudo. Yeah, she's big. That's a one tall lady. Got a Griffin Knight here. Vesper being short as fuck, short and thick. And we got Wild Iraqi.
Snake eyes. He smiles so slight. I collect late night. Your name on a marker, sign in, I'm ready. One drink, then it's darker as the chips begin to shrink. He deals you little pieces of forever. Says luck is just a chain I love to measure. Every hand a little tether, pulling you under the leather.
We all know Roboticus. He's the biggest homie.
Lord Gambler never loses. Bet your breath and every bad excuses. Dust on his throne, you can't refuse it. Once you're in his hands, the night chooses. Mouth plug, bitch. Lord Gambler never loses. All in eyes, the dark seduces. You think you're playing him, he moves the fuses. Mouth plug, bitch. Lord Gambler.
Powder and Juju showing up. Now here is Zayla of Ted Fatash. I think this is Depthswalker's cat form, if I'm not mistaken. And I kind of really want to say this is supposed to be Penny Bloomfield, but I could be mistaken. It could be somebody else. And of course, here's your boy Nightowl. Mummy, Natsuki, and Truckerman. We got Femboy Fox, Happy Harble, Chikage, and DJ. There's Rivunami. This is supposed to be counterintelligent, but he doesn't have his goatee. People seem to have trouble with that. I don't know what it is. And we got Feeble Seal here. And of course, we got the two goats of our community, fucking Sky himself and Louisverse. Null. And we got Nalith, Reaving Mango, and Bupella.
10 more seconds on the line. 5 more heartbeats out of time.
We all know who these freaks are. We got Lusty Lynx. We got Lord Intellectual, the King of OPSEC, who has had his account banned 3 times. And then we have Ember Paradox. Love the little fireworks ending where he just sends out more invitations to the undead nightclub / casino. This one was pretty wild. I liked it. old boy Mavlik did some good work on his first try. First try too, man. Not many people have such a clean first try. I'm liking what I'm seeing from everybody. Like, for real, for real. Okno needs to hurry up and just release that shit. Let's see. Let's watch this.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's the meme of the day brought to you by 5mind.com. Well, I don't know how many times I have to say it, but I'll keep saying it probably to my grave, or at least until things get better. The Western left has a major radicalism problem. And honestly, I would even take it a step further. The Western left, which of course by extension, by proxy, the Democrat Party, has a massive terrorism problem. And I'm the crazy, wacky, kooky person on the internet who's been sounding the alarm for years, mostly to no avail, as it appears for the most part the mainstream media and popular culture really isn't interested. But once again, it's real and it's a monster that continues to reveal itself. And you know, for years the left has tried to pass this off, or rather dress it up as simple criticism. People are simply engaging in free speech and anti-war activism, or anti-fascist resistance. But at this point, I mean, to actually believe that, you have to be living under a Patrick Star rock. It's not just about dissent or opinion anymore. This is a growing cancer of anti-American hatred that is radicalizing people and turning them against their own country, turning them against the West, and most pressingly, inspiring real-world harm and terrorism. And now, once again, we're making a link, as it appears. An individual who was recently arrested for committing a literal terror attack, a firebombing on a drone facility in Czechia. Well, it appears this individual has now been exposed as a massive Hassan Piker fan. Folks, the monster is showing its teeth, and once again, the road leads directly to Hassan Piker, who pretends to be some harmless edgelord. Oh, he's just a regular guy with hot takes. But clearly that isn't the case. He is an agent of radicalism. He is patient zero for a radicalism epidemic that is getting worse and worse by the day. And it's an epidemic that the left refuses to acknowledge, that the mainstream media chooses to ignore. No, instead, they keep trying to build up and promote the celebrity status of Hassan Piker, when realistically, I think at this point, Hassan Piker probably belongs more in Guantanamo Bay than he does on the cover of a frickin' magazine. Let me show you guys what happened, and of course, let's have a conversation of the larger phenomenon at hand here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so it appears Hassan Piker's initial prediction is really coming to fruition here.
He did it because of Hassan, and obviously that doesn't really work for anybody, even if like someone who has done an act of terror literally will be.
It kind of works, buddy, when you're the one who's saying that we need capitalist blood and guts, and you should kill your local politician and all that shit. That's you, buddy. You're saying that. There are clips and clips and clips, and you guys can hide behind dark humor and fucking bullshit all you want, but we know you're not joking. You are 100% serious. If you could get away with doing it yourself, you would, but you don't want to get your hands dirty. You don't want to be the one to get in trouble and go to jail and get killed up by the police for what you want to do. So you're going to hype up your fucking psychotic fan base to do it for you.
Like, I love Ben Shapiro, and I did this because of Ben Shapiro, but I could totally see it sticking for something like this upcoming year, you know what I mean? Where, you know, they'll be like, this guy was a Hasanabi head, and then they'll just like push it nonstop. They'll spam it endlessly to a degree where like I'll have to address it in like mainstream news, you know?
You know, he attempts to frame the narrative as if this kind of thing could happen to anyone. One day it'll happen with Ben Shapiro, and then of course it'll happen with me. But you know, I gotta tell you, I've been in this business for a while now. I highly doubt any terror attack will ever be linked to my channel or my online influence. It's not a phenomenon that affects all of us. And clearly he was attempting to get ahead of this thing because he knew exactly the type of rhetoric that he was peddling in, as if it's just a regular occurrence and one day it'll be pinned on him. But we should all dismiss it because, of course, you could find that link with anyone, but that's obviously not the case. And now here we are, another violent terror attack linked to Hassan Piker. An individual by the name of Youssef Morsi was just arrested on terrorism charges after he allegedly firebombed a drone factory.
My nose is killing me, bro.
The individual in question claimed that they were producing Israeli weapons. In reality, the facility was tied to drones for Ukraine. He's now facing 25 years to life. Notice how earlier I said another. Well, for those of you guys who haven't been paying attention to this kind of stuff, two individuals, Austin Blair and Jarrett Mackey were charged with 11 counts of making terrorist threats after calling an active shooter and bomb threats. Both of those individuals, as well as the Youssef Morsi individual, all have one thing in common. They're all following Hassan Piker on social media. In fact, one of the individuals involved in making terrorist threats is even pictured here spending time with Hassan Piker on his stream. And of course, we could dismiss it all, don't jump to conclusions.
Well, I mean, honestly, Demolition Ranch is a fucking bitch for bending the knee like that. I thought he was more hardcore than that, but no, Demolition Ranch is a fucking bitch. Like, as much as you might like him, as much as I might like him, he literally folded under the smallest amount of pressure. Fuck Demo Ranch.
We can't make any connections. We could apply the Hassan Piker standard and assume that any culpability through the link here is just political weaponization. Oh, it's a right-wing conspiracy. But to actually believe that, you'd have to be analyzing these cases in an information vacuum. You'd have to ignore this.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
You'd also have to ignore this.
You support terrorism, ? No, I don't. I don't support the state of Israel. And I don't support the state of the United States of America.
Oh, and let's not forget when he suggested that the Houthis were essentially doing what Monkey D. Luffy was doing in One Piece.
Dude, we think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do.
I mean, what the actual F? At some point, the rhetoric crosses a line. At some point, it goes from criticism to incitement of violence and incitement of terrorism. There's being critical of American foreign policy, and then there's being just overtly anti-American. And that's exactly who and what Hassan Piker is. He's a subversive anti-American force. And you could tell instantly by simply tuning into his live stream on Twitch. Look at the title of his latest stream, quote, "Trump is begging." By all accounts, it's war against the Iranian regime, the largest state sponsor of terror on earth. And this guy undeniably is rooting for the enemy. I get not liking war, disagreeing with the premise possibly, thinking it's bad foreign policy, but to actively root for the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world, it's on a whole other level. And that is exactly what this guy is doing. He's not some anti-war ideologue as he pretends. No, not at all, because very clearly he loves it when terror states are waging war against American targets. The Houthis, as he described it, are one-piece revolutionaries. He's fully willing to issue statements of support to China, Iran, Hamas. He seems to support the Houthis, Hezbollah. But when America gets involved, and usually the cause is righteous, suddenly it's evil American imperialism. And he takes it to a disgusting level of anti-American.
It's how fucking commies work, bro.
F-35 being hit? No shot. Oh my God, American empire is so fucking over. It's not even funny. There's no way this is real, right?
No, it's not real.
Unbelievably bad if the F-35 is actually taken out by Iranian anti-air missiles. It shows two things. Number one, Iran still has denial capabilities and they're very successfully utilizing it. Number two, the American air superiority is busted and dusted.
That was Hassan being met with the fake Iranian claim that they had downed an F-35 jet. They actually missed the jet, and the pilot was forced to make an emergency landing. But look at this clown celebrating. He's celebrating potential harm inflicted on U.S. soldiers and U.S. assets. And honestly, at this moment, I might as well loop in the clip that we played yesterday from Philadelphia. This is the modern left Hassanabi tribe.
Until we have done everything in our power to bring the United States to its knees, let us not lose sight of the enemy. For every U.S. military base that
Who sent him the script? I wonder who wrote this guy's script for him.
It's no longer edgy and cool, contrarian worldviews. It's anti-American subversion and alignment with terrorist organizations abroad. And this is what is rising on the left thanks to people like Hassan. We have a terrorism problem that is growing, that is festering. It's a malignant tumor and it's spreading across the body, and nobody seems to care. This is the most influential grassroots left-wing character on the internet. This is who young people on the left are looking up to, not to mention
This motherfucker just call Hassan Piker grassroots. Bro is a Nepo baby. He comes from politicized money. Like his uncle is fucking Sink Uger. He's a fucking anti-America fucking commentator, bro. Like he's nothing grassroots. He's totally astroturfed and fucking propped up, and even the fucking platforms that he's on like fucking support him. Like he says this shit and like never gets banned, but like people will do the least fucking punishable thing and get their accounts nuked for like 2 weeks. Yeah, those fucking rallies and scripted fucking protests happen in the United States all the time, Velasco.
In the environment, Charlie Kirk was just murdered. ICE agents were just ambushed in Texas, actually twice. One actual sniper ambush and another attempted armed ambush, not to mention the plethora of attacks and threats, and we simply cannot...
Bro, that whole thing with the fucking fat Mexican kid who tried to fucking free a bunch of immigrants but ended up killing them instead and then killed himself. Oh, dude, cinema. Yeah, the dude was fucking retarded.
Forward pretending as if this is all part of normal political discourse. It is not. There's something going on here. There's a sinister agenda at play, and I just don't get why nobody seems to care. How many more terror attacks must we suffer? How many more Charlie Kirks is it going to take until people wake up?
Stop my bullet! It doesn't match!
Nobody wants justice for Charlie Kirk more than me. I emceed the man's wedding. Worked with him for 10 years.
Oh yes, it's time for the not copyright song Old Cowboy Boots to copyright strike my channel again. That's what that little ditty is, by the way. It's what he uses. It's not copyrighted work, and I keep getting copyright struck for watching Benny Johnson.
Brother. And I've done everything that I possibly can to uphold his legacy. It is a legacy of truth. It is why it is such an abomination to see so many people lie on the man's name. That's pissed me off, and I've broken publicly about it, given speeches about it. And here is a document that was filed in the Utah District Court, the Charlie Kirk case, that is causing a lot of headlines. There are two major headlines that have popped off from this document. One is 100% true, and the other was 100% false. And I want to talk about both of them. Tyler Robinson's parents and trans boyfriend will testify for the prosecution in Charlie Kirk's murder. That's what this document shows. That the parents who turned him in are going to say, my son did it. Confess to it. That this is his rifle. That this is what he did that day. The trans twink boyfriend.
This fucking homo was 100% involved. They worked together. They were part of a fucking unit. There was like this whole trans fucking militant unit that was operating in the area at the time, and they were literally talking about it on social media. Like people forget about that shit. They were literally openly talking about what they were gonna do the day before they did it on Twitter. Fuck these people.
Lance Twiggs, the transgender boyfriend, will also be testifying, most likely because he destroyed evidence, potentially could get charged unless he cooperates with the feds.
I feel you, Velasco. The second you start fucking wishing for the downfall of the country you live in, you should be tried for treason. Supporting the opposition in times of war, it should just be treason.
Not sure how much I'm going to trust the testimony, but I guess we'll see, and we'll have to see. But the prosecution is trying to delay this as much as possible. Obviously, this is a tactic. The farther you can get this out of the headlines, the farther and farther away you can get this beyond somebody having strong feelings or remembering that horrifying day on September 10th, then perhaps they could get a better trial for their client. And so this is a common tactic. They want to delay. And that's what this document is doing, because it seems now that the prosecution has an insurmountable and overwhelming amount of evidence. But then this headline hit the internet yesterday. Bullet used to kill Charlie Kirk does not match the rifle. Allegedly used by the suspect, Tyler Robinson.
No, Robinson was the decoy. One of those two actually made the shot. And if it wasn't one of those two, it was somebody from closer. I personally buy the whole exploding mic thing, like discharge from the microphone on his neck. We have all kinds of crazy fucking technology. What was it? Israel and the golden fucking pagers. Like, do you remember those things? Jeez. People are so gullible to thinking that the government and all these shadowy organizations won't fucking stoop to this level. That's all they fucking do.
New court filing. Bullet used to
Of course there's distractions. Of course there's fucking obscured evidence. They fucked up. Well, not fucked up, they intentionally fucked up the investigation. If they're making an effort to assimilate, sure. But if you support terrorism and you support opposition in times of war, like you're just a treasonous bastard.
Killed Charlie does not match rifle. So what this headline alleges is that there were different guns that were a different gun killed Charlie Kirk, and therefore there's a grand conspiracy, and who knows who did it. But it definitely was. The feds are completely lying to you. They're in on the cover up, Egyptian planes, and so on. And it's all because of whatever, Iran. This is what the allegation of this headline says. And of course, the internet went and went completely ballistic on this headline. Ooh boy, pull your tinfoil hats out of the drawers. Bullet used to kill Charlie Kirk does not match the rifle. This seems like a huge deal. Like if the bullet doesn't match the rifle, this looks like a Fed slop narrative falling apart. If the bullet doesn't match the rifle, then obviously there is a massive conspiracy here. And this demands that all of us now, like, whatever, so, like, storm the FBI.
There's no fucking way it would have been a decapitation.
Complete and total lie, this headline. And just a basic understanding of ballistics would show you that. Okay, so let's go to the actual quote. Because if you understood what the underlying ATF document says about the ballistic, it says something quite normal, and any gun owner would tell you this. The underlying motion discussed a 4-page ATF report on the comparison of a bullet jacket fragment recovered during an autopsy of Charlie Kirk and the rifle recovered by law enforcement. The result of the comparison was inconclusive. It doesn't say it doesn't match. It says it's literally inconclusive.
Inconclusive means you don't have any solid fucking evidence to support the fact that it was the bullet fired from that fucking rifle. That's what inconclusive means. It means the results didn't fucking pan out the way they wanted them to.
They need a chance to interview the ATF agent. Well, what is the ATF agent going to say? And by the way, I would be totally in favor of the interview.
BJ, have fun. Be safe at work.
All of the available evidence here. I think it's critical that we see all the available evidence immediately, as much as we possibly can. They should leak the evidence right now. A 30-06, which is the grain of bullet that hit Charlie Kirk in the neck, is known for fragmentation. The fragmented bullets often
30-06 only fragments when it hits bone, though. Being shot in the neck, a human neck through the throat like that, wouldn't have really caused any fragmentation. It would have just been like straight through and through, possibly decapitated the man. This is not how it works.
Explode and shatter in real world scenarios when they hit bone, when they impact bone, causing breakup and energy dump, rapidly expanding, fragmenting. This is common. And this obviously...
Is fucking Benny really fucking pushing the fucking Man of Steel theory right now? Is he really sitting here believing that Charlie Kirk's neck was just that thick and strong that it fucking shattered a bullet? I hate this shit, man. I hate how stupid these people think we are.
When the bullet splits, hitting bone like spine, ribs, and clavicles, causes the jacket separation and shattering. Even with tougher bullets, the high velocity means that it will shatter even more, and that you get the kind of wounds that, of course, we all horrifically saw. I mean, hopefully you didn't see it, but whatever. A lot of people saw the video on Charlie. These expand rapidly on impact, soft tissue often shedding lead core fragments. While the jacket may separate, this dumps energy quickly, larger wound channels. It reduces penetration. It even says here in the write-up that there's a real-world debate about this with Charlie Kirk. There's much discussion about the Charlie Kirk bullet fragments. that it was not a whole intact bullet recovered from the neck and chest area, where they recovered fragments, but no exit wound. Critics questioned how a powerful 30-06 could fail to exit. But because of the fragmentation that is common with this ammo, the impact of the bone
Always have been. They always have been a fucking embarrassment of an agency.
Ricocheting throughout the body, as you can see.
There's a reason why JFK wanted to break up all these organizations and fucking scatter them into the wind. And they killed him for it.
Bonded bullets are more likely to exit, but that a 30-06 can produce massive temporary cavities with fragmentation, and the fragmentation stays inside of the actual, in a case like for hunters right here, right? For the hunters, the bullet actually stays within the animal. This is something, reduced penetration depths, no large exit wound is possible. The bullet breaks up entirely, especially after hitting dense bone. This leads to an energy being deposited internally. Hunters complain about this. So it's something normal, and this is a completely erroneous headline. They don't say it doesn't match. They say that it is inconclusive because the bullet fragmented, which is normal for a 30-06. Okay? But anyway, so when you see these headlines across the internet, I just want you to be careful, right? Bullet used to kill Charlie Kirk does not match the rifle. That's not what the report says. The report
Exactly
said
what
that,
it says.
Like something very important. This is what the headline says, not the actual report. Don't fall for a click.
Having the evidence to support the fact that it does not match the rifle is essentially saying it does not match the rifle. If you can't link it to the rifle, the opposite of that is not matching the rifle. Benny really is a fucking plant, isn't he? He really is a fucking fed plant. What the fuck?
Bullet fragmented. We know this all along. With soft point rounds, 30-06. It almost never is able to be matched because they are designed to expand and fragment. This is the actual quote, right? It says the results of the comparison is inconclusive, not that the gun doesn't match. But everybody's running with this, obviously, without actually looking into it, which is completely critical. It's not the same thing as saying the bullet doesn't match the gun. It's a small bullet fragment in bad condition. Stop it, everyone. It doesn't say that. Bullet used to kill Charlie does not match the rifle. This is the defense claim in motion, not the final court ruling. Conclusive proof. Ballistics matching isn't always possible. What they're saying, and here's the community note, the ATF ballistics test on Charlie Kirk's autopsy was inconclusive compared to the suspect's rifle due to the fragmentation. It did not determine that a match or non-match, the post-miss states, did not match. Correct. Yeah. Gun not being able to match means the bullet was traced back to the gun, wasn't the suspect's gun. Unable to match the gun means the bullet was so fragmented that they were unable to match the bullet to a specific weapon, including, it's very two different things. Yeah. So everyone's who knows a little bit about ballistics.
Cope, at the end of the day, they weren't able to match the bullet to the gun. That's all it is. That's fucking stupid.
That honestly, this headline's lasted so long. Large accounts are sharing this with WTF. What's going on? That does not show that the bullet was not fired from the gun. It shows the bullet was too fragmented to confidently link it to any gun. This is not uncommon and does not mean the bullet didn't come from Robinson's gun. The defense attorneys are going to try and spin this as
you can't prove the fact that it came from the gun. You can't prove shit. That's where it lies. That's what people are saying. Like, I don't know why they're arguing so fucking hard against this.
evidence that Robinson is innocent. This is what they're doing.
Bullet matching is just bullshit anyway. Like, it always has been.
So they're like playing a game here. It's important to remember the parents and the boyfriend, the transgender boyfriend, are testifying against Tyler Robinson in the trial. Okay. There's been some other news, right? You'll see that the sheriff who arranged for Charlie Kirk's assassin to turn himself in has suddenly resigned. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. But that's also a little piece of news that's out this morning. I'm not sure. I was in Utah recently, and I actually spoke with the guy who was there on duty when Tyler Robinson turned himself in. He says Tyler Robinson confessed to the murder. He was there with his dad. That's what he said. It wasn't exactly this guy. It was a different guy, a different sheriff. But anyway, Charlie stood for truth. Make sure that you are locked into the truth. It is critical to get justice for Charlie. It is critical to release all of the available information. It's critical to get justice for his family. And the way that you do that is full transparency and releasing everything. Okay? And that's what we advocate for 100% on this show and on this channel. Okay? And the faster they get this trial on, and the faster that we're able to hear all of the testimony and see all the footage, the better for the country and the nation. It's more than
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy.
I'm calling it now. Charlie's just gonna be JFK 2.0. We're never gonna know. We're never gonna know what fucking happened.
Of the left. And of course, here's the meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. You know, the term grifter is thrown around a lot these days, and usually I feel like it's aimed towards us, you MAGA chud right-wing grifters. But I think there's a reason it usually doesn't stick, and that's because for the most part, we've been the ones that have been taking risk. We've been the counterculture force that hasn't had mainstream backing. We've faced censorship and deplatforming. You know, to say a lot of the stuff that we've been saying, especially for as long as we've been saying it, and especially throughout the 4 years of Joe Biden's censorship regime, it took some balls. We dealt with a lot of BS. And so, you know, it's kind of hard to accuse one side of being grifters when they're pretty much putting everything on the line to stand by what they actually believe in and to say what they really think is true, despite it not being popular, even to the extent where they could lose everything by saying it publicly. The term simply never
I don't think so, Fett. I don't think so.
Cases, but those are few and far between. Now, when it comes to the left, of course, I guess all of this to say it's massive frickin' projection. Yeah, the left, it's nothing but filthy frickin' grifters. And boy, do I have an example of that today. We got Harry Sisson's little butt buddy, Dean Withers, who initially tried grifting as an Andrew Tate wannabe in his Toyota Corolla.
While you guys are at home sitting on your asses,
Well, I mean, I don't even really fucking think we know the truth about JFK. Like, they released files, but I don't think they said anything conclusive. I think it just, like, kind of alludes to the fact that the fucking FBI and CIA fucking did it. I mean, like, I say this all the time. There's a documentary that outlines the theory that I support. It's called JFK to 9/11. Everything is a rich man's trick. It essentially alleges that there was, like, multiple teams of shooters in different buildings. Oswald was involved, and a lot of people took shots at JFK. But the person who actually shot JFK was hiding in the sewer that was at the bend of the road, like just above the, or just before the overpass. If you look at the footage of where JFK is actually shot, if you actually watch the uncensored video, his head flies back into the side as if the force of impact was from underneath and in front of him, not from behind him, like Oswald would have had to have been to actually land the shot. Yeah, Oswald was just the dude that got caught. The guy that actually shot him was like just some fucking teen that they hired as like a failsafe, like right before the operation. There's also reports of this guy like showing up to like a car dealership like a few miles away and like begging for a job real quick as like an alibi. So yeah, that's essentially what I support, is like multiple teams of shooters. The car suggests that there was like multiple teams of shooters because there's like a whole bunch of fucking bullet impact points on the car. Multiple people in the car were shot from multiple angles, and JFK's entry and exit wound does not fucking line up with the official narrative.
I just took a private jet out to LA with $1 million in this rental passenger seats in a coach duffel bag. Couple grand in the lap. I'm about to go drop it at Louis Vuitton.
And when that grift didn't work, well, I moved on to the next easiest grift. Of course, conning the idiotic hordes of leftoids. The entire online left-wing empire is built on one giant, massive grift, fake victimhood, and manufactured oppression. And of course, none of it is coherent, and none of it makes sense. I want to show you guys this embarrassing Dean Withers clip that's currently going viral across social medias, and let's actually take the time to go through this gaslighting BS. Let's go through every single ridiculous left-wing claim here and totally dismantle and refute each one line by line. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so let's start off with the clip. Let's go ahead and watch it in its entirety and then address the points.
What rights have you lost under Trump?
What do you mean by right?
Under the American
I
Constitution.
don't even know who this
what
retard
rights have
is.
you lost in this country?
I'm a white man, so I haven't lost any. But
Okay,
that would be different. No, I'm gonna finish, Ron. I need to finish.
You're race baiting. You're
No,
race
I'm
baiting.
not. I need to finish my sentence.
You are.
I'm a white man. I have not lost any of my rights. Now, if I were to be a white woman, I would have lost my right to access healthcare in 36 of our 50
How's
states.
that?
If I were a black woman, then I would have lost my right.
They always say the right to access healthcare as just like a pretty way to veil I can't readily access fucking late term abortions. No actual healthcare was fucking lost. The right to, well, rather the accessibility of abortions and the frequency and feasibility of when an abortion is allowable was just kicked back to each individual state. Some states allow fucking really horrendous fucking abortion shit. Right, they'll allow after birth abortions. They'll just let babies die if the mom doesn't want it. They've done like 8-month abortions. They've done 9-month abortions. It really is just like straight up fucking child sacrifice to a degree. Yeah, there were no healthcare rights lost. Women are just mad that they can't fucking murder babies.
To liberty, because now DHS is authorized, and using somebody's race is an identifiable factor to make a detention for a suspicion of them being an undocumented immigrant. If I was an individual of any gender, any sex, any race, born to parents that were undocumented immigrants, then I would have literally lost my constitutional right to birthright citizenship after Donald Trump signed Executive Order number 14160 into effect. If I was a married woman, okay, who didn't have a passport, didn't have the money to get one, and my birth certificate has the last name I was born with, not the one I assumed from my husband. If the SAVE Act were to pass, then I would have temporarily lost my right to vote. You know, we could talk about these rights all day. The right to freedom of speech is a really big one for people in journalism and media. Donald Trump is directing the FCC to not renew the licenses of...
That's a crazy fucking take, considering the fact that the Twitter files came out and showed that the Biden administration literally had control of every single social media, direct control, not even by proxy. They had direct fucking access and control of every single social media platform. You ever wondering why you got banned during the fucking 2020 election cycle? You ever wonder why you got fucking banned off of Facebook or fucking Twitter for your fucking political beliefs? It's because Joe Biden clicked the fucking button. That's fact. They had control of that. And every time a fucking narrative came out that would kneecap their campaign, like the Hunter Biden laptop, the fucking Ukraine gas scandal, all that shit, like it got fucking buried by the mainstream media. They had a lock on fucking speech and truth and narrative forever. Look at this dude's stupid fucking face, bro. Look at how fucking retarded he is.
People who negatively report on the war in Iran.
So you're saying that blacks, Hispanics,
black people,
Mexicans...
Biden even tried to install a fucking Ministry of Truth. Like he straight up tried to do that.
Italians, Polish, they all lost rights in this country. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, the grift is just so clear. Well, I, as a white man...
I'm a white man.
I haven't lost any right, but it's not the same for all of the poor minorities out there. The white savior complex is something that's really a truly fascinating phenomenon. And that's, of course, a very identifiable part of this grift. The moment you get checked on your bullshit, just immediately start crying about everybody else, all the poor minorities, and the horrifying oppression that they face. And he starts, of course, from the bottom of the pyramid, slowly working up to the most oppressed groups. He starts off with white women, who he claims have lost their right to health care in 36 states.
If I were to be a white woman, I would have lost my right to access health care.
If you ever need proof that this guy is a manipulative dirtbag, well, this is it. These left leftists are always playing these word games and linguistics games and semantics games. He doesn't want to say right to abortion because, of course, there is no such thing. And so instead he says right to healthcare, which also, funnily enough, is also not a real thing. You don't have a right to somebody else's labor just because they're a doctor. But what he really means is women have apparently lost the right in 36 states to kill their babies. But obviously Roe v. Wade was never in the Constitution. It was never a constitutional right. It was activist judges essentially just making up. And in 2022, we saw the Supreme Court, which of course I guess you could say are the arbiters of the Constitution. They deemed Roe v. Wade unconstitutional, kicked it back to the states, exactly where it belongs, and now the decision around abortion laws is handled democratically on a state level. What does that have to do with rights? Nobody's rights are being taken away. States deciding their own laws is exactly how the system is supposed to work. So obviously that's a BS claim. But no, of course, highly intelligent, super slick Dean Withers, he's got a couple aces up his sleeve. And so he moves on to the next grift, the racial grift, of course.
If I were a black woman, then I would have lost my right to liberty.
If I was a black woman, I have now lost my liberty because the DHS is using race as a factor for undocumented immigrants. First off, it's very interesting that he leads with black women as if black women are being hunted down by ICE officers in the streets. Oh, it's just so utterly incoherent. But he's making this claim that essentially there's mass racial profiling going on, and that now is stripping black women of their rights.
I mean, of course, you wouldn't really expect a white guy to be an illegal immigrant, although there is a lot of Slavic and European illegal immigration. There really is. But, you know, like, the main fucking target of this shit is getting cartel operatives and terrorist operatives off the fucking street and, like, actual career criminals from other countries. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of those people are probably going to be fucking minorities. It's how they operate in those countries. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Like, if you're from Colombia and you've, like, seeked asylum here through, like, the fucking Biden administration, like, 99% of the time, you're probably going to be a fucking criminal. It is what it is. Like, I'm sorry, but a lot of these people are just straight up criminals that are fleeing other countries. They're just downright terrorist or cartel cells.
To
child traffickers.
What does that even mean? You know, this guy presents himself as such an intellectual thinker, but I think it's pretty clear he's an absolute moron. And you know, even thinking about racial profiling, again, I'm failing to make the connection to rights. And maybe this is just my personal opinion, but I also find the whole left-wing conversation around racial profiling a little bit ridiculous. It's a little exaggerated. The idea that you can't use identifying cues as a part of your investigative process as a means of determining particular suspicion, frankly, I think it's stupid, but again, has nothing to do with.
This is also the same side of people that is like, oh, all white people bad, all white men bad, blah, 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 blah. That's racial profiling.
With rights. And speaking of stupid,
it's honestly just racism.
The dumbest and most revealing claim.
An individual of any gender, any sex, any race, born to parents that were undocumented immigrants, then I would have literally lost my constitutional right to birthright citizenship.
He says that because of Donald Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship, illegal immigrants have now lost their constitutional right to birthright citizenship. That right there is really...
Illegals don't get constitutional rights, sorry.
Where things take a ridiculous turn. That's where you start to realize that there's something severely wrong with these people. Americans are losing their rights because illegals can no longer take advantage of birthright citizenship. Absolutely absurd, and again, just an idiotic race grifting narrative. Notice how he's not actually interested in a constitutional conversation surrounding the botched interpretation of the 14th Amendment. I guess the suggestion is that Donald Trump has erased the 14th Amendment with the stroke of a pen because he's a dictator. But that's not at all what he did. What he actually did was challenge it with an executive order, and now that executive order is going through the legal process, making its way to the Supreme Court, where it will be ruled on, deemed constitutional or unconstitutional, and then we'll finally know, we'll finally learn whether illegal immigrants actually do have a right to birthright citizenship scams. But of course, with Dean, everything's a slogan or a headline. Now moving on to the next idiotic stretch.
If I was a married woman and my birth certificate has as the last name I was born with, not the one I assumed from my husband. If the SAVE Act were to pass, then I would have temporarily lost my right to vote.
Married women without a passport will temporarily lose their right to vote if the SAVE Act is to pass. Well, first of all, even if that was true, the SAVE Act hasn't passed yet. We could also see the bill amended, things can change. So we're talking hypothetical here to begin with. Nothing has even been implemented yet. So to be using that as your argument as to how so many people have been losing the rights in the country since Trump was elected kind of doesn't make sense. And now secondly, the premise of his claim is again total BS. If you are a married woman and you decided to take your husband's name, well, there's already a bureaucratic process in place for you to update your documentation. Not to mention there's a portion of the bill that already accounts for this. But again, going back to the core claim, what right are people losing? You changed your name after marriage? Well, update your documentation like any responsible adult on planet Earth. Nobody is losing the right to vote. No American citizen loses the right to vote under the SAVE Act. You just have to go through proper steps to verify your citizenship so you can legally vote. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Another completely idiotic point. Now moving on to the next, which honestly I think for me was the most frustrating. Here we go, another idiotic leftoid doing the whole free speech thing.
The right to freedom of speech is a really big one.
People are losing their right to free speech because of the evil fascist Donald Trump. Absolutely idiotic. And what he's referencing, of course, are some of the FCC challenges that were initiated by Brendan Carr, which have to go through a very rigid legal process. And as we know, FCC licenses have always had standards. These are public airwaves, and there have always been rules. Nobody's losing their right to free speech. Jimmy Kimmel didn't lose his right to free speech. But what's so incredibly hypocritical here is that Dean Withers' own political party spent 4 years during Joe Biden's first term colluding with big tech to censor anybody reporting on the Hunter Biden laptop story, to censor people questioning the science during COVID. They deplatformed people over misinformation, questioning the results of the 2020 election, or arbitrary interpretations of hate speech. Joe Biden attempted to start a ministry of truth of sorts. They labeled parents at school board meetings terrorists, pushed campus speech codes, and from 2016 to 2024, the entire left-wing base cheered every single time conservatives got deplatformed and banned. But now we're hearing these leftoids cry about free speech. The hypocrisy is on another level, people. And the truth is that the modern left is the enemy of free speech, all under the guise of protecting my democracy. Just absolutely idiotic, the whole freaking lot of it. And once again, this is a perfect example of what these left-wing thought leaders really are. Nothing but a bunch of grifting frickin' losers who don't actually believe a single word that comes out of their mouth, especially in this case.
I don't understand why people even accept participation trophies, Digger. When I was in Little League Baseball, they gave my team trophies for losing, and I was like, what is this for? We lost. Why are we getting trophies like that? That makes no sense. What's the point of even competing? Shit's stupid.
It's obvious Dean Withers doesn't believe half the crap he spews. He's simply playing an angle, just like when he was attempting to sell e-commerce courses and flashing his Coach duffel bag full of cash in his mom's Corolla, wearing her freaking Versace glasses.
I just took a private jet out to LA with $1 million.
He spent 3 minutes inventing all of these fake narratives, basically peddling the headlines verbatim, using every disenfranchised, oppressed minority group to push his frickin' grift as useful political tools. It's so obviously a game, folks. These people have no attachment to the truth. They're always playing an angle. It's always performative.
I never accepted that shit.
Twisted power play. Dean Withers is the distilled essence of the modern grifter Democrat. He's just articulate enough to sound smart on camera, dishonest enough to never concede a point, twisting himself into a pretzel, pushing absolutely illogical crap, and of course cynical enough to know that his audience will eat the BS up because they're likely just like him, or he's simply reinforcing their copium and their victimhood mentality. It's a grift empire built on fake outrage and fake victimhood. Anyways, that's what I got. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Hi guys, it's me again, and today I thought we'd talk a little bit about misinformation on the internet. I thought that, I don't know, now would be a good time.
Speaking of misinformation on the internet, I just want to pull this out real quick. Take a little time to read that. this is an April Fool's joke, it's a really cruel joke. I don't like that at all. Like, you better not. It better not be serious. You better be 100% fucking joking, Shiv, or there will be consequences. Everybody go to X right now, find this fucking post. In fact, I will link you to this post. You're gonna go to this post, and you're gonna give my girl Shiv some love. Punchline is that it's April 1st. Just hop in on my lady. Send her some love. Show her that the jelly cult is there for her.
Time. So in the past 2 or 3 years, I don't know about you guys, but I have seen such a massive, dramatic 10x multiplier amount of videos on the internet that are either totally fucking fake, misleading, or anything else in between, sometimes even both. And I know I hear people sometimes say, oh, well, I don't see as many AI videos anymore. Yeah, I wonder why. And so anyway, I think this is what's happened, is that there is so much misinformation, there is so many people trying to mislead you, trying to cause you to think something that isn't true, trying to manufacture a false consensus. It's like the dead internet theory is almost reassuring, because at least that means that nobody else would be harmed. But the reality is that there are a lot of people on the internet that are being let off a fucking cliff by an AI video that didn't even exist. And so what I think the really, like, the point where I think the biggest flashpoint for this for me has been the recent conflict in Iran, is that everybody is making up bullshit about this. It's like I'll watch a video and I'll be like, oh, well, what's going on here? Is this happening? Nope, it was in 2021. Oh, is this happening? Nope, that was in Ukraine. Oh, is this happening? Nope, that's actually not even fucking real. And then, oh, as a bonus, is this happening? It's actually Arma 3, the video game. And so what I think has happened is that you've had so many of these different types of manipulations, and why are they happening? Why do we have all of these manipulations? Well, it's very simple. Behavior follows incentives. How many of these manipulations are not being paid? The overwhelming majority of them are being paid for this. So they're making money off of misleading people, and big surprise, you're upset that they're misleading people. Of course they are. They are following an incentive. And I think that that incentive is the strongest on Twitter. I know that they're trying to fix this, but unfortunately, to the extent that you have basically a, like, this is what I think Twitter should do, because I think that AI and fake information on Twitter is the absolute worst. I think it is the worst platform for fake information. And just because, again, it's text message, image, and you can effectively turn off replies. There's a lot of ways that you can do it and, like, have people not really notice whether you're lying to them or not. What they need to do is they need to change it into something like the YouTube Partnerships program, where you don't automatically default somebody a payment option. You don't automatically default somebody a revenue plan. They have to earn that and then have that given to them by going through a series of checks and rigor. Because whenever you don't have that, well, you have, the 900th different anti-Israel or anti-Iran account that's posting images of either Ukraine or Israel getting bombed, saying it's either Iran or Israel or the opposite, right? And so basically that's what I think is really happening, is that people are responding to incentives. They're seeing that basically making and pushing out fake information is something that has almost zero consequences. And I think that this is also, like, you've got to hold yourselves accountable for this. And by yourselves, I'm talking about myself as well, is that really when we find out that somebody's posting something that's bullshit, instead of asking them to correct themselves, we just move past it. And I think it's one of the unfortunate realities of the extremely fast 24-hour news cycle that we live in nowadays, is that, you know, even things like, for example, do you remember when Obama kind of, like, said that there might be aliens on a podcast and, like, this was a huge big deal? Yeah, that was last month. That might as well have just not happened. Let's think about the time that, Trump obviously released the Epstein files. How many people are talking about the Epstein files now? Substantially less than what they were. And you can check this all by Google Trends if you're unsure about any of this. And so what I think has happened is that the news cycles are so fast nowadays that there's never any room for, not only is there no room for corrections, but there's also no room even for accountability. And what's really happened is that people, instead of questioning what they're seeing, they just move on to the next thing. And so there's never any accountability whenever a news source gets something wrong, whenever they say something that's inaccurate. There's never an evaluation as to whether, was this done on purpose? Was it done out of just a mistake? Was it done out of haste? Why did this happen? And it's never discussed at all. And I think this is a huge problem. And the reason why is because if you have people that are, again, past performance is an indicator of future performance. Guess what? If somebody is regularly posting bullshit, guess what they're going to post after that? Probably more bullshit. So what happens is that people are listening to this, they're paying attention to it, and then they see, oh my God, it's another piece of shit. It's another thing that's not even true. And people they're never able to connect the dots here. And so not only does the audience not hold them accountable, people don't really care. And this is another big issue. I've talked about this before. I don't want to get into it too much, but critical thinking is dead. Critical thinking is dead, and we have killed it. And the way that we have killed it is with dogmatic, ideological, thinking that effectively behaves like a religion. People have replaced, Christianity or Islam with, the Democrats or the Republicans, with gender ideology, with any form of, political dogma. And so now people don't want to go against that political dogma. I think that human beings have a core desire. Like imagine the human mind is like a car, and the car can drive 200 fucking miles an hour. It can go super, 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 super fast, but the brake system sucks. And I think that's what's happened with the human mind, is that our ability to critically think, to perceive our realities, to be able to understand the world around us has vastly outpaced, multiple times outpaced our ability to cope with it, to cope with those conclusions, to ask yourself, well, what does happen after you die? Well, what does happen if you do this or that? Well, what is really the right and the fair thing to do? And people are afraid of these questions because they're afraid of the answers. And what they do instead of that is they look for an ideology that's going to answer all of those questions for them so they never have to think about it again. And that's what's happened with critical thinking. Before, people used to outsource it to religion. Now they outsource it to politics, religion, or political dogma. And so what's happened is that you've had a massive entire ecosystem and culture of people that are terrified of saying the wrong thing. They're terrified of having the wrong opinion. They're terrified against going against the oftentimes manufactured consensus. And what happens is that you look at somebody like J.K. Rowling, for example, or even Elon Musk, for another example, or anybody else who's seen as a, I guess people would get mad. I don't want to name off a bunch of other content creators, just I don't want to start drama, but we all know content creators that, somebody said one thing that was wrong, they said one thing that was off color, or they didn't have the right opinion about the right topic in the right way at the right time, and for some reason, now they're a fucking Nazi. Well, guess what? Somebody's not a Nazi because they're not seeing your point of view. But unfortunately, on the internet, that's the way it works now. And so what's happened is that we've created a culture of fear, a culture of repressed critical thinking, because nobody wants to think for themselves. And how does this relate to misinformation? Let me explain. The reason how this relates to misinformation, I hope that I've explained and you understand why critical thinking is dead. Critical thinking is dead is because people are afraid of the conclusions and they don't want to come out against the consensus, because if they do, they might get ostracized from their group and then nobody will like them. And then you can never wash that stain off because people do not believe in forgiveness, they don't believe in apologies, they don't believe in understanding.
That's 100% right. That's the shit I say all the time. Is people only think the way they do because they're afraid. They've been feared into their belief system. None of these people actually believe the shit they push. They're just afraid of losing their friends and afraid of being seen as a bad guy. That's it. That's the effectiveness of the shame game that the fucking left plays. It guilt trips everybody into just lockstep. It's a garbage way to be. Garbage way to be.
hater economy on the internet is going stronger than ever. The Dow is at 50,000, the hater economy is at 50 million. So the fact is that people are terrified of having the wrong opinion, and critical thinking can sometimes lead you to the wrong opinion. Trust the science? Okay, well, I heard the science is 2 genders. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the right type of science. And so anyway, this happens quite often.
Facts.
So we'll go back over and we'll talk about misinformation. Does anybody actually want to correct the misinformation about something that everybody that's, quote, on their side is eating up like a bunch of fucking candy? No, absolutely not. Nobody wants to go and correct the information that shows Israel getting bombed 500 times and tell them, actually, this is from Independence Day. Or, well, this is from a video game. Or something else. Or this is from 2019. And, or Iran, or anything else. And, or like, oh, the new supreme leader of the day has now been killed again. Well, I hear this every single day. The guy gets killed every day. It's the same guy, right? I mean, must pretty much suck. That's the worst version of Groundhog Day that I could imagine. Wake up every day, you're the supreme leader of Iran, and then you die, and then it happens again the day after. Sounds pretty fucking bad, but according to Twitter, that's the world that we're in. So what I think has happened is that you've had so much misinformation, the information cycle, and this is one of the real pieces of, I think, genius that George Orwell had with, 1984, is that it was not necessarily that the news was all a lie. It was that there was so much misinformation and so much information in general that the deluge of it was so overwhelming that the mind of a person could not even comprehend the complexities, the amount of just pure volume of it, and everything. And because of that, it is effectively the sheer size of it has lulled people into a sense of effectively powerlessness. They can't overcome this. They can't reason it out. They can't understand it. And so they just simply opt to not understand and to just listen to what they're told. And I think, again, this is out of, I said before, fear, but it's also out of apathy and a lack of control. So what's happened is that people are now accepting of misinformation. They don't want to correct misinformation because people, as soon as somebody makes up their mind on something, well, they don't want to change their mind, because changing your mind implies that you are wrong. Why would you ever want to admit that you were wrong? And I understand that, oh, that's not the way you should think about it. That's nice. That's nice. Go back to Reddit. So if you go over to the real world, no, people don't like changing their opinion. There's a reason why the concept of anchoring exists, especially with sales, but also you're selling an idea. So keep in mind that's the way people think of things. And so once you can create that first impression with misinformation, you can then use that first impression to create even a secondary, well, that was fake, but this secondary thing is also still kind of true. And I think this is what happens. And it begins a self-radicalization spiral. And you see this happen with certain creators where as soon as they start engaging with other forms of vitriolic, conspiratorial, or problematic content, they alienate the audience that was more, I don't know, normal. And instead of that, they replace them with the people that are crazy. And as that happens, guess what crazy people want? Crazy shit. Who would have guessed? And so then you now have to continue upping the ante. This happens with IRL streamers a lot, like nuisance streamers. The conclusion of every nuisance streamer is jail. That's the way it is. That's how it is.
We're getting shot.
One of them, if you just let it progress naturally, they will end up in jail. Because you start being annoying, and then you be really annoying, then you're confrontational, then you're violent, then you're really violent, then you're in jail. Because you always have to keep upping the ante in order to maintain the attention of the audience. And I think that's what happened with a lot of different creators, and it's what will continue to happen as well, because it's basic human psychology. And I think that there are a lot of people out there who try to subvert this. They try to say that, oh, well, we need to be better. We need to be better. Listen, we were doing crucifixions 2,000 years ago. In 2,000 years from now, we'll probably still be doing them. Maybe we'll bring it back. And so the point is that the human mind is not evolving as fast as you think it is. And at the same time, these basic human psychological realities are not despawning. They're not going away. They're actually becoming more entrenched and actually more, basically more compromised. They're being played to. They're being taken advantage of in a much higher ratio, because now you have these companies that realize, well, wait a minute, if we can just feed this retard an endless amount of information about the thing that makes him the most angry, he won't be able to stop using our app. And so now you have these people whose like blood pressure is being raised. It's like effectively these companies are killing people because their blood pressure goes up 20 points the moment they open a fucking app. And they're sitting there getting angry, tapping out these little fucking responses, and they're arguing with either a Pakistani or a bot. Well, actually, that's not true. Probably both. And so what's happened is that the amount of misinformation on the internet has just increased so much. Places like Twitter pay people for uploading it. Places on the internet, like news websites, if enough people report on it and start talking about it, the news websites talk about it, and sometimes they reinforce it, and there's never any due diligence. And if there is, it's like 2 weeks after the fact. It's like this story has already completely made its way around the globe, and now, nobody's even talking about it. And they don't even think about the correction, because the narrative has already been established and it's already moved past that original fake fact. And so what's happened, I think, is that we've created a culture of misinformation. Now, the way that I think you stop this and how you deal with it is you have to look at incentives. Why do people push misinformation? They push misinformation, and again, I'm not talking about, COVID or something like that. I'm talking about literal AI videos. I'm talking about videos that are posted as if they were today and it was 5 years ago. I have no problem with somebody posting a stupid opinion, but I do have a problem with people that are posting opinions and information that is deliberately misleading. And if those people are getting paid for it, then you can guarantee that you're going to have a lot more of it. Because I can also promise you that fake news will always be more exciting than real news. Because again, the sky's the limit. Fiction is generally much more exciting than nonfiction. I've never heard of a single dragon in real life. And so what's happened is that you've had these things kind of evolve and grow out of control, and now there is an entire ecosystem of people that are consuming this fake information, and they're being rewarded for it. They're getting more of it. They're being paid for it, and then you have people that are building their careers around it. And how do you actually stop this from happening? Well, you have to stop giving them fucking money. And I think that needs to be the point where you look at it. Now, Twitter has been trying their best to stop this and shut it down, but, I'll give it a few weeks and we'll see what happens. Right now, it sure seems like it's a pretty big problem. But my general opinion on this is that this problem will only continue to get worse, but there is a silver lining, and I will talk about the silver lining. The silver lining is the fact that if you're not a fucking idiot, it is a lot easier to understand things, and you have a tremendous advantage nowadays. And on top of that, everybody in the world is developing a general distrust of believing what they see. And I don't know if you've noticed this before, but every single image, even if it's something like, there's an image of, Pearl Harbor, and, you'll see 4 comments, Grok, is this AI? Well, you know what? It's retarded. Yes, it's retarded, but it's an investigation. It's a level of thinking. It's a level of questioning that I think for such a long time hasn't happened. And the silver lining of this age of misinformation is that it's also going to lead forward to an age of skepticism. It's going to lead forward to people reflexively just believing that, this might not even be true. And I think that's very long overdue, because people for a very, very long time had trusted the mainstream media. I think COVID really severed this. But before that, and even now, to an extent, if they're saying the things that you agree with, people do trust the mainstream media. And I think the problem with trusting the mainstream media is that they don't necessarily lie, but they do misrepresent. And they misrepresent in a way that can effectively completely shift the feeling, the intent, the goal or anything like that, they can shift it entirely. And I think that people would just accept that unquestioningly. And I think that one of the silver linings of the age of misinformation that we're entering into now is that that is calling into question everything. It's calling into question all information, all sources, all like different, all primary information, all videos, all images. And I think that now that we've also created other secondary sources for people being able to, you know, say, hey, this isn't true, hey, this is not real, and being able to detect this, I do think that there will be a long-term positive effect, but it will take a lot longer than you might imagine. But hopefully, the main thing that I really hope for is that they're able to get rid of the people getting paid for this stuff, right? I don't have a problem. I don't want to have people get banned, right? I don't want people to get banned. But if you're posting fake information and AI videos and stuff like that, and you're presenting it as if it's real, well, then you've got a pretty big problem. And I think that it's pretty obvious to see how this is an issue. So again, I don't want to see anybody get banned. I don't want to see anybody get censored. But I don't want to see those fuckers get paid either. And I think that's a big problem. And the more that you have these people getting paid, the more this issue will continue to grow. I wanted to talk about this because I think it's going to keep getting worse, but at a certain point, I think we are very close to the climax, and after that, I could see things beginning to improve, get better, and for the, you know, global internet awareness or the consciousness to have a much larger degree of skepticism, even with things that they believe. And that's what I hope for, and that, in my opinion, is the best thing that could come out of misinformation, but goddamn is it a painful road. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this with you guys today. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate it, and let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Hey guys, welcome to
Not really. I've been talking to people for a little bit about the jelly thing. Honestly, the second I saw that, it kind of like just blew my whole chill. Not even gonna lie.
Hey, what's up, Christopher here. So when it comes to the subject...
Like, if your boy was ever balanced, there is no more balance to be had now.
Matter of this video, I have many feelings. On the one hand, I feel vindication. On the other hand, I feel deep frustration for reasons that'll be very obvious in just a second. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you know for years I've been calling out DEI and wokeness and the negative impact that has had on multiple industries and mediums, and all throughout that, I've been pointing out the performative nature of all this and how it is a gigantic agenda push, largely due to the efforts of very powerful individuals and entities out there. Well, that's been called a conspiracy theory or hateful or bigoted, what have you, for many years, being able to point that out. But as with many things these days, it wasn't some conspiracy, it was just truth a couple months early or a couple years early. Because the CEO of BlackRock, one of the, probably the biggest proponent and pusher of DEI and wokeness across the world, has come out and just straight up admitted that the woke era we've been living under for the past couple of years was a failed corporate experiment. And now they're trying to pivot to something else while acting like nothing has happened. Let's listen to this clip.
Oh, these people should be fucking put in jail, put under the jail.
A failed experiment. The ESG, the DEI, the kind of push for that.
Fucking experiments be damned. Even if it was a fucking experiment, it has irreparably damaged society. This fucking shit has ruined society.
You talk in a practical sense, what we can do, what we can get done. Looking back at that, how do you see it?
society moves, the pendulum moves all the time. In BlackRock's cases, we are responsible for managing money for everybody. And even today, as you said, maybe these, renewables are less talked about it. I can tell you right now, we have many investors worldwide are investing in renewables, trying to emphasize solar and other things like that. We're working with Occidental Petroleum right now to building the best carbon capture factories in Texas right now. So do I believe the pendulum 5 years ago was too far? Yes.
You do?
I believe we're more I'm personally more pragmatic too. And I believe...
But do you think BlackRock pushed some companies a little bit further left than you thought?
It was never our intention, because our job is to be... I got to be a fiduciary to everybody who gives us money.
So there you have it, folks. The CEO of BlackRock, the biggest pusher of all this stuff, just straight up admits this was all just a failed corporate experiment. And now the pendulum is shifting another direction, and they're just moving on from all of that, acting like, well, you have nothing to be mad about. This is just the changing of the times. Oopsie whoopsie. We ruined all these lives and ruined all these mediums, but who cares? We're moving on, and we're just going to keep making more money. That is the reality we live in, and I genuinely believe people like Larry Fink are evil, and I don't throw that term around very often. This guy is evil. You can play the rest of this clip. He just drones on for another minute or so.
Fucking Larry Fink and BlackRock are such a shitty fucking couple of things.
At the end of the day, this guy just admits that he's been using pawns, whether it's people and or industries, to push an agenda that now is recognized as a corporate experiment gone wrong. Let's look at some of the comments here, and I will expand on the main points. Here's a quote from Endymion saying this. BlackRock CEO admits the woke era was a mistake, and everyone who played into it was manipulated. Every website, every person. It was never genuine, actual truth bomb, dude. Every push of DEI and all that was carefully constructed to fit narratives. I got called so many names for pushing back, and now the guy who started it is like, yeah, we screwed up. Unreal, dude. So much damage has to be undone from this. So many game companies alone still clinging to this BS, knowing it won't work. Unbelievable. And that is the key takeaway here. These people are brainwashed. The people who fell for this, whether it's in the gaming industry or
I don't even think it's true. I think this whole thing was handed down by the government, bro. Like, to be totally fucking honest, this is just fucking dark magic at work. This is the same shit that I always talk about. It's just another fucking mode of attack from the fucking cabal, from the fucking deep state, from the fucking Jesuits, whatever you want to fucking call them, bro. The fucking evil shadow wizard puppet masters, bro. Fuck them. This is all they're fucking doing, and it's done irreparable damage to society. A lot of these companies are never going to let this shit go. A lot of these services are never going to let this shit go because they think it's what people want. They want to push this shit on people. So,
are indoctrinated by this stuff. I think it began with a personal agenda. They want to use these points to enforce their own agenda. They want to use DEI to push their own agenda and to feel in some way emboldened to go after anybody who questions it or has a different point of view than them. We have seen this, but now they're stuck in this stuff. And the CEO can come out and say this was all a failed corporate experiment, and they're not going to be listening because they're too far gone at this point. And yeah, people like myself who have been calling out DEI and all of this stuff and how performative and ridiculous it is, yeah, we got called every name under the sun. Right? People literally try to ruin you for calling this stuff out. And now he's just like, oh, oopsie whoopsie, let's move on. So many people have been made a fool out of this. They were literal pawns, completely manipulated. Whether it's websites, people, corporations, it's all a part of this scheme that is just right in your face. And here's a reply to that previous post saying, now, you now have millions of incompetents employed in major roles across every industry. You can't do the job. Yet their existence depends on DEI. They will continue to push it and fight for it no matter what now. Can't put the genie back in the bottle. They get paid to push it. And that is definitely true. There are endless people who only have their position at their current job because of DEI, because They chose identity as a priority over competence. And we've seen people literally die because of this. This isn't just, oh, geez, people are losing out on jobs who are more qualified. No, people are put in trusted positions where people are literally losing their lives due to incompetent hires who are only there because of their identity.
Yep, no backpedaling now. They don't fucked up.
For years across the globe. I mean, I talked about this with the California wildfires, where some of the fire departments came out and talked about their DEI programs where they spend millions trying to hire people who look like the victims of fires. And of course, you had people who would just straight up admitted they couldn't even carry someone out of a burning fire who were...
They straight up fucking hired a bunch of fat lesbians who openly admit that they wouldn't carry a male or a Republican or a conservative out of the fire. They just want to be in control so they can decide whether you die or not.
Hired only because of their identity. This stuff is deadly. And back then, I remember getting attacked for saying, hey, every million you spent towards that, if it was transferred somewhere else and it saved even one life, that would have been worth it. People thought that was very bigoted. That's how crazy and far gone all this stuff is. But here's another quote saying, let me get this straight. The folks on the far left who kept yapping about taxing the rich, eating lab-grown, grass-flavored like meat, rainbow flags in our nurseries and primary schools, pro-migration, forcing geopolitics and modern-day sexual orientations into our video games, and plastering DEI in every workspace imaginable, were being manipulated and controlled by the rich. Yeah, anybody who's not been experiencing life with blinders on knows the truth of this statement. This is the upside down world we've been experiencing the last couple of years. And the effects, like I said, it's not just the gaming industry, it's everything. It's the education system, it's corporate, America corporate, global, everything. Everything that could possibly be touched by this has been touched in one form or another, and it's all been for the negative. Here's another quote, translated from Spanish. This post really went worldwide, guys, by the way. All of those who thought they were anti-establishment revolutionaries for being woke and spending the day hassling people turned out to be getting used as puppets by BlackRock. Yes. Literally millions of people fit under this description. They think they are anti-establishment revolutionaries by pushing all of this nonsense for years. Turns out they're just puppets of a massive, massive, massive corporation. Here's another quote saying, people learning that their entire political ideology was a scheme thought up and created by billionaires they hate. Can't make this stuff up. Yeah, here's the thing.
It came out in the Epstein files too that all this shit was just like handed down through them. I wonder where that all started. I wonder.
This stuff is so indoctrinated that at this point, I believe it goes beyond just an ideology or an agenda for these people. The people who have been used as pawns for this and have supported this stuff, it's basically a religion to them at this point. It has consumed every aspect of their life. They depend on this to be real. They depend on this stuff to be pushed. Otherwise, they have nothing. They get hired because of their identity, or they use this sort of woke era we've been living under to justify harassing people who have done nothing wrong, to force their morals and their beliefs onto other people and be able to label them as other in order to justify anything bad that happens to them for questioning DEI or wokeness. Let's move on to another translated post saying, I love the silence of feminists after finding out that all their policies and struggles over diversity, gender, and rights were funded by BlackRock's billionaire patriarchy. They thought that bearing their tops because they wanted to and leaving their bodies untrimmed because they were fighters, and it turns out their boss was Larry Fink. I'm crying from laughter. The amount of useful idiots out there is staggering, ladies and gentlemen. But here's one more. It really pisses me off that I lost all of my closest friends due to the far left social justice moral bundle of sticking and evil elites like this guy who are responsible. Their entire political ideology was a scheme devised and funded by the very billionaires they hate. The amount of people, like, I'll ask you, the viewer, have you lost friendships or connections over the last couple of years because of stuff like this? Because you're not cool with DEI, or you think it's performative, or wokeness, if you call that out or think it's performative, have you lost friendships? I mean, you know, the subject of grifting even comes up when it comes to content creators. Do you think being anti-woke is some masterful grift? I'll tell you it's not. I get called a grifter every single day. This is the worst grift ever. If you want to be anti-woke, it's a terrible one because you lose opportunities, including financially, which, you know, thank goodness I have you guys and your support, whether it's just watching videos or super chatting or showing up to streams and doing things like that. You've been able to help me out and make it so I don't have to rely on all of this sort of nonsense. But it has direct effects. What Larry Fink, BlackRock, and all these agenda pushers do, they have an impact on people personally, and they also have a pervasive cultural effect where there is right think and wrong think. And the sort of compass that's been directing millions of people has been pushing wokeness. And those who question it have been chastised. I mean, I remember even a couple years ago, people lost their jobs or got banned on social media or lost sponsorships for saying there's things like two genders, like there's only two genders. That was a thing that would literally have your life turned upside down only a few years ago. And people like Larry Fink want you to just forget that happened, even though they were the ones pushing this stuff harder than anyone else. Like I said when I started this video, what are my feelings? Well, it's all over the place. There's vindication, okay? My thoughts about all this has been vindicated. I know so many content creators who do what I do, who look at this and say, yup, we've been calling this out rightfully for years. And now you have the puppeteers coming out and saying, yep, this was a failed corporate experiment. That's vindicating. Well, on the other hand, it's deeply frustrating because the people who are doing this, they will not feel any sort of remorse. They don't feel bad about anything that's happened. They don't feel bad about the negative impacts on people's lives, even the violence that has been created because of these systems. They don't care. And the people who have been useful idiots throughout all of this, they're not going to look in the mirror. They're going to ignore this. In fact, they'll probably call this propaganda, like alt-right propaganda or something, to justify how stupid they are and how much they've been used over the years by billionaires like this. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I know there was a lot going on there, so please share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yep, everybody's been bamboozled. It's all fake and gay, every single bit of it. Just gotta keep fighting, man, no matter what, or else it'll never stop. It's probably just never. What the fuck, Nalith?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice message system. At the tone, please record your message.
Hey, babe. It's me, your
God.
boyfriend.
God damn.
On my way home right now. I've been thinking about you the whole drive. I love you so much, babe. The road is so quiet tonight. Just me and the stars. Wait. Babe. There are those weird lights in the sky. They're like... Wait, they're like circling around my car. They're like blue and green or something? Oh god, the whole car is shaking. Wait, it's coming down. It's a giant glowing disc landing right in front of me. They're getting out. Small gray aliens. They're speaking some strange language. You're never gonna believe this. They brought me inside their spaceship. The walls are like glowing with those weird symbols. No way. They're They're showing me a giant holographic screen right now. Babe, the Earth is flat. It's actually flat. There's like a massive ice wall around it, and oh wait, they're the pyramids in Egypt. There are ancient docking stations for alien ships. They're telling me the moon is completely hollow, and it's their main base. This is blowing my mind. But there's all the proof here. They keep showing me more crazy stuff. Area 51 is just their gift shop. And here, Bigfoot is apparently one of the interns doing field work on Earth. Birds aren't real. They're all surveillance drones. Babe, I swear I'm not pranking you. This is all real. They just told me the reason I'm late so often is because they keep borrowing me for those little medical checkups. But you know, even though all of this is freaking crazy, I'm still thinking about you though. Everything was kind of okay until now, but I just heard one of them mention probing protocol? Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, your message has exceeded the maximum time limit and cannot be saved. This voicemail will now be deleted. Goodbye.
Oh no. Now I'm going to be super late. And my excuse is going to sound super insane. I got kidnapped by aliens and showed that the flat Earth is real and pyramids are docking stations. You're never going to believe me. And, they just turned on.
I'm almost like 99% sure it's a fucking joke. But I'm also like 1% like about to kill myself, so I can't tell you, mummy. I hope the fuck it's a joke. I sincerely do. If not, the Quangos are being lynched. I'm gonna go full Anakin Skywalker on just about everybody, and nobody can fucking stop me.
The probing machines. Wish me luck, babe. April Fools, did I get ya? Let me know in the comments. It was really hard making this. I kept laughing. I think I have more bloopers than actually recorded lines. So the rest of the video is gonna be a bunch of bloopers.
I'm gonna say you better release the Naileth files.
It's me, your boyfriend.
I guarantee you it's just a fucking troll. I guarantee you she's just throwing out bait for retards like Hulith or Naira or whoever else has been fucking with her to be like, oh yeah, we win, and then she just comes out and says, psych. I'm almost like 99% sure that's what she's doing, but that 1% is honestly fucking got me contemplating seppuku.
This is so cringe. I just wanted you to hear my voice before you. Oh my god. I've been thinking about you the whole drive. Just me and the stars and, and the thoughts of you, babe. Whoa, babe. I almost hit a oh my god, there was a deer on the road. There. They're coming down. Oh my god. It's aliens. It's aliens, babe. Don't you understand? Small gray aliens. They look more... They're sexier than you, babe. I'm stuck here. I can't drive around it. They're lifting me into their ship. This is so stupid. Babe, you're never gonna believe this. They have a lot of sex toys. The assortment of dildos is crazy. And the pyramids in Egypt, they're not tombs at all.
Never pull anything like this off, man. I really couldn't.
And the pharaohs, they were just parking attendants for extraterrestrials. What am I doing here? This is fucking retarded. Zuckerberg is one of their... Zuckerberg is an alien. I'm seeing all the proof floating right in front of me. I can see it all. It's real. They even hinted that the reason I'm sometimes late is... I swear I'm late because of aliens. But, you know, I'm still thinking of you about... But, you know, even though... Give you all those cuddles and kisses you deserve. Everything was kind of okay until I heard one of them mention probing, but they're gonna probe me. They're gonna put their things in my ass. And my excuse going to sound super insane. Hey, aliens kidnapped me. And they're putting things in my ass.
Oh man, you're on my shit list, Nihilith. I'm coming for you, man. You don't know when or where, but I'm gonna fucking get you. I can't believe you made me sit through that entire video, dude.
My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the Archvillain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture.
Shut up, Nihilith. You know you post and I'm gonna have to review it. You do this. It was specific bait for me. Start coming to fucking voice chat and offer to spread your cheeks. Like, the fuck you mean?
And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribe Star pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane...
You should have leaned more into the probing bit. The probing bit would have been fucking hilarious. My mouth tracking fucked up, boy.
Podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. There's a lot riding on the success of The Mandalorian and Grogu in theaters this May, because the Star Wars franchise is badly damaged after years of lousy writing.
I'll be honest with you, I've been thinking about doing like some stupid voice acting shit too. I'm just not exactly sure like what I'm gonna do, but I want to try it because I think I would be good at it.
Obnoxious political agendas and outright fan abuse. We all know that, my friends.
I think it would be cool if we got like a handful of us together and like tried to do like a like kind of like an abridged dubbing, if you will.
Lucasfilm badly needs
Hey Penny, how you doing?
Star Wars column to put a little lead back into the franchise pencil, and yet The Mandalorian and Grogu faces stiff headwinds going up a mountain of disinterest on rocks slathered with bantha poodoo in a catch-22 situation. The Mandalorian and Grogu will have a hard time attracting Star Wars fans because Star Wars is running out of fans to attract. There's a rather disturbing lack of excitement around Mando and Grogu after a few lackluster trailers.
Damn, Nailit's out here costing people money.
It still has viewers scratching their heads and shrugging. Star Wars seems to be in decline these days, and Mando and Grogu would need to be an out-of-the-park home run blockbuster to overcome the heavy miasma of inertia and disinterest enveloping the
That's good. That's
Not
good.
only
Glad he's
because of an
improving.
Extremely disappointing season 3, but also because Star Wars is in a slough of despond and displays every sign of being a damaged brand in terms of audience enthusiasm and support. Is it dead as such? Many people say Star Wars is dead, but is that true? I don't think that's exactly the case. Andor was a bright spot, even though it wasn't Star Wars in the classic sense. What it lacked in good old-fashioned fun.
The moment they start bringing back just good cinematography and good writing, Star Wars will take a very, very, very deep breath and just rebound right back to the popularity it once had. The second they start making good Star Wars content, it'll just revive. That's what it always is. People said Star Wars was dead during the prequel era. People said Star Wars was dead in between the prequel and the sequel era. Like, it doesn't matter how long a franchise kind of sucks. It doesn't matter, like, the type of fucking bad controversy it has. The second you start releasing good, entertaining shit, people will fucking pay to watch it.
It made up for in excellent writing, solid performances, and overall intelligence. And the upcoming Shadow Lords animated mall series looks promising. Jon Favreau brought Star Wars back from the brink of collapse once before, at the end of Mandalorian Season 2, so it's possible he could work a miracle again, and I pray that he does for all of our sakes. And yet, there are many signs Star Wars is in deep shit, my friends. Let's look at a few ugly facts. After all the misery fans have been through, it's easy to forget that back in the early days of Disney Plus, The Mandalorian Season 1 drew staggering ratings, over 20+ million views in opening weeks by some metrics. That was the potential of Star Wars, before garbage like Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and The Acolyte poisoned the Sarlacc pit. Ahsoka and The Acolyte experienced roughly 30% viewership declines during their runs, and even the critically praised Andor had lower overall engagement than peak Mandalorian. The Acolyte was canceled after steadily declining ratings, not to mention relentless scathing mockery, memes, and scorn galore. The fans couldn't shit on The Acolyte fast or hard enough, no matter how much rhetorical fiber they wolfed down. It was a terrible time for Lucasfilm, but fans on social media had a shitload of fun skewering it. Not the kind of fun Lucasfilm hoped for. The sequel trilogy itself started out strong.
Lucas didn't even decanonize the expanded universe. It was Disney that did it the second they bought it.
Fueled by FOMO and nostalgia, fans went into The Force Awakens.
But yeah, there was oodles of source material for them to adapt and make cool stuff off of. Still is if they try hard enough. I was always a fan of the news that Dave Filoni was going to use the shit that he set up in Star Wars Rebels with the world between worlds and all that time hopping shit to like effectively sever the sequel trilogy from the main timeline. Like the sequel trilogy would still exist in like some defunct alternate timeline. Like the sequel trilogy was supposed to be set off as like the worst timeline, right? Yeah. Disney did it like the second they bought it. Like, George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney under the assumption that they would be working off of his treatments for the sequels and also stick to the source material of the expanded universe, and Disney did none of that.
Wearing rose-colored blast shields, and as a result, Force Awakens brought in about $937 million domestically, but then came The Last Jedi, which dropped to about $620 million domestically, but even worse, Last Jedi infuriated and alienated the fan base, and as a result, Rise of Skywalker dropped to almost half of The Force Awakens gross, down to about $515 million. Then Solo lost money, Disney retreated from theaters entirely, and that is the environment Mando and Grogu is entering this May. Oh shit. Clearly, in terms of metrics, Star Wars is on the skids. Can the Mandalorian and Grogu put the brakes on and reverse that trend?
You know, dude, you're citing all these figures, all these statistics, but in all of these calculations, you're leaving out the most important element: fan hatred. It's not just indifference or boredom. In a lot of cases, it is outright hatred that burns white hot, even after all these years. The way they humiliated Luke Skywalker and Yoda in The Last Jedi, the way they shit all over Kenobi, every single Star Wars project dominated by brave, stunning women and watered-down, ridiculous men. Mostly Boba Fett laid around in his Speedos in a Bacta tank in Book of Boba Fett, and it was his fucking show. The Amazing Wonder Ray, the bestest ever. The Amazing Reva, the bestest ever. The Amazing Acolyte Witches, the bestest evers. With the power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Holdo, Rose Tico, Maz Kanata, Kylo Ren, Darth Zipperhead. This is a mountain of shit that even Jon Favreau will have a hard time scaling.
Yes, anger runs deep among fans, and who can blame us? Every time I post a video about Star Wars, I get a number of replies along the lines, "I'm never coming back. To hell with them. I couldn't care less. They lost me forever." Not the kind of customer feedback any corporate QA department wants to hear. I think Disney bought Star Wars in an era when Hollywood as a whole was at the height of its arrogance, believing it could damn the profits full speed ahead on the agenda. And if the audience doesn't like it,
Like Commando would be good source material for a show or a movie.
until they give up and swallow it all like good little boys. Riding high on the wave of woke, they ignored past Star Wars canon as being problematic.
I think Star Wars, if they would lean into like the war movie aesthetic with some of their shit, like if they made like a full-on like Band of Brothers clone trooper movie, that shit would be sick as fuck. You could even have a Jedi leader in there, you know, like you could do some cool shit. Stormtroopers too, like it'd be really cool to see like a Stormtrooper movie. It'd just be like boots on the ground, you know, kind of like World War II movie aesthetic action, you know, Black Hawk Down, Saving Private Ryan. I don't know, Black Hawk Down's not like a fucking World War II movie, but I'm saying like war movie aesthetics. Jarhead maybe. They could do a lot of stuff if they tried hard enough.
They ignored fan protests about Last Jedi, did nothing to retcon any of it when it failed, and indeed, as woke wanes in Hollywood, it seems that Star Wars may be the last holdout, because there's plenty of evidence suggesting that both The Mandalorian and Grogu and Star Wars Starfighter will lead straight into or out of the much-hated sequel trilogy. And there are a hell of a lot of fans out there who will flat out reject anything acknowledging or cementing into canon the hated sequel trilogy. This is a non-starter for a whole lot of fans who will never let go of their anger at how The Last Jedi ruined Star Wars. Reinforcing that ruination with further projects is insanity and hubris of colossal dimensions, and so the question remains, will The Mandalorian...
That would be pretty cool too. Or like an Inquisitor movie where you just have like a fucking what was that dude's name from fucking Inglourious Bastards? You pretty much just Inglourious Bastards, but with a stormtrooper ISB agent fucking hunting down like Jedi and rebels and shit. That would be fucky, dude.
And Grogu provide Star Wars.
Because, I mean, the Empire did a lot of really shit to the people that they fucking captured and tortured.
with the boost it needs.
I'll be stunned if it does. I think it'll be one of the best of the Disney Star Wars movies, but that's not saying much. To be fair, I think it'll roughly be on a par with some of the Season 1 Mando episodes on Disney+, but at this point, that's not nearly enough to put the franchise back on the right track.
That would be some good shit, Velasco.
Doomed if it leads into the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, man, that's why I brought you into the community, honestly, is like, that's all we're here for, is inspiration and source material. Like, you have ideas, fucking put them to use. You have a plethora of characters, you have a plethora of prompts, you have people who are knowledgeable about AI that can help you fucking do these things. I brought you in for this exact reason, because I've seen I saw a lot of your videos beforehand. That's why I reached out to you, dude. Like, you're really creative, and like, I see the potential in you. I think you could do great things if you apply yourself.
Because the sequel trilogy is the poisoned well in the old cartoons with a cow's skull sitting next to it that says, "You'll be sorry." I always love those cartoons for obvious reasons.
And so did we all, O Skull of Calderon. Folks, it's clear there's only one possible thing that could save Star Wars at this point: a love letter to the fans. A non-apology apology, perhaps, because they never like to apologize, but giving fans everything they ever wanted in abundance is the solution to the problem. A solution Disney can't seem to bring itself to make. The problem is, it seems clear to most fans that Disney does not love them or welcome them, and when your customers feel that way, your business is beyond screwed. Fans feel unappreciated, alienated, and cast off. Will The Mandalorian and Grogu change?
Believe me, man, I know how long away a little bit of positivity goes. A lot of people try, well, I don't think, nobody's really called me out for being like toxic positivity, but a lot of people bring it up, and I shun the term. I don't think there's a such thing as toxic positivity. You gotta support your homies no matter what.
Any of that? Well, that remains to be seen. As for me, I will be going to see The Mandalorian and Grogu, and I'll give it a fair review. I'm pulling for Jon Favreau to pull off yet another miracle against all odds, but given all of this history and the trailers I've seen, I am concerned that The Mandalorian and Grogu may prove too little, far too late. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Like I said, I sincerely believe the second they start cranking out good shit, if they completely abandon all the stupidity and just start making good Star Wars content, people will flock back. They'll make money hand over fist. Make good movies, make good shows, make good games, make good toys, and then people will buy them. That's it. I'll shout this out almost every time I see this ad. I own several Theory Sabers. They're the fucking bomb. This is like literally the best company to buy lightsabers from.
Hey guys, how you doing? I figured this would happen.
For sure, for sure.
Filoni has come out with.
You want a cheat code? Just start adapting the books. Go Dark Empire. Go Heir to the Empire. Go fucking Dark Nest trilogy. But yeah, like just start adapting the books, start adapting comics, and start adapting games, and do them good, do them justice, and people will just spend oodles of money. And with all these good revived, intellectual properties, you will have merchandise that will sell like hotcakes too. You make a good Star Wars character that has a cool lightsaber, and you just print money off of selling toys of their lightsaber. You make good Clone Wars content. You know, you make money hand over fist selling clone helmets and blasters and shit from Nerf. You know, action figures galore. You have good characters, people want the action figures.
Saying that the Maul show is a way of sort of paying respect to George's sequel trilogy. Now, if you don't know what his sequel trilogy is, I've covered it on the channel a while ago, and it's from Paul Duncan's interview with George, where essentially Maul was supposed to come back and he's going to train an apprentice, which was Darth Talon, and that's kind of what we're getting now in the Maul show. However, whereas Luke was the protagonist,
My dude is... Is he covered in husky hair, or is that just like the fucking shirt? I know he has huskies.
His own show. I'm kind of waiting to see what the show is really all about, to see how I feel about this, but there's a few things I already disagree with. However, here is what Dave Filoni said. Maul is a character that's our responsibility, Filoni told StarWars.com. George Lucas and I had some talks about Maul over the years and what his plans for Maul had been, which was for him to come back, fight Luke, and train Darth Talon. And so I felt it was a way of honoring that future that we were going to have and finally bringing some of it to light. After first appearing in live action in The Phantom Menace, Maul has since featured in animation form in The Clone Wars and Rebels. Personally, I mean, this is kind of what Disney does. Ever since George went away, they take some of his inspiration from certain characters, such as, sequel trilogy, and then renaming them, either changing their gender or completely changing them entirely as a character, and then putting them in a different timeline, so to speak, or completely different situation, such as like if they had parents, now they don't, vice versa, or whatever. This is kind of like what...
That's kind of like another good idea. Like, what ifs would... I feel like what if scenarios would go really far. Like, like what if Anakin beat Obi-Wan on Mustafar? Like, what if Darth Vader was able to be Prime Vader? All kinds of really cool branching realities. Like, what if Qui-Gon didn't die on Naboo and actually trained Anakin?
They're doing, whereas Luke was the protagonist and Maul was the antagonist, he is now the protagonist, and the Empire is... It's sort of like they've shifted the scale, and they're now looking at what is more of a darker Star Wars, which I'm down with, I think is cool. But now we're looking at Maul in sort of a good guy vibe, which I'm also okay with. But what I don't like necessarily is the fact that, well, we got the sequel trilogy, so now we're locked in, and we can't actually get what George wanted. But also what Sam Witwer...
I know is Killaby.
...trained to hate and destroy the Jedi without ever questioning it. Yeah, now he's looking at the galaxy going, boy, we could sure use a Jedi or two. I'm all for character development, but
It's so hard, I broke my tracking, holy shit.
...that direction. I think he would still equally hate the Jedi just as much as he always did, considering the fact that he blames Kenobi and the Jedi for everything that went wrong in his life, and he still hates the Emperor, but in some weird way is probably still loyal to him if called upon, because he knows that there is a power dynamic there, and it's kind of like his dad. So I personally think, what are some of the questions I see online? It's like, is Maul going to fight Vader? It's very well a possibility. That was originally supposed to be the death of Maul. They were supposed to have Vader fight Maul, and Vader was supposed to kill Maul, and that was going to be how Maul dies. Now, they could have some
cool too
fight, but if Vader ends up losing that fight, I'm going to be like, well, that's not realistic, right? That shouldn't happen. Vader should absolutely annihilate Maul in every essence of every single situation possible. And if there are a lot of Maul fanboys out there, I am one of them, but when it comes to Vader, no. He does not beat Vader. There is just no possible way. If that were to happen, going to see how that plays out. But with Maul training this apprentice, here's how I think the show is going to go. It's going to go on to probably a couple more seasons, season 2, maybe season 3, and they're going to really make us fall in love with this new Darth Talon character, which I think her name is Devin Izara or something like that. And from there, once Maul dies, she's going to probably show up in live action or in other shows, because that's kind of the theme that they're taking. They're taking a lot of characters that were in the dark side, and then they're making them switch sides. So she's a Jedi. She's going to switch sides probably for Maul, or maybe she's going to switch back into good. Who knows? But, you look at Iden Versio, Empire turns good, like that. You look at Asajj Ventress, evil turns good. Reva, evil turns good. And probably a few more that I'm forgetting. But it's kind of the theme that they have going on. So I think The point of the show, yes, is to show Maul and his transition into not so much a good guy, but maybe having more character development in the sense of really trying to create his crime syndicate back up again to fight the Empire and essentially show Sidious that, hey, like, I am more than what you discarded me to be. I am more than what you thought I was, which was just a tool, which was nothing. I survived. And that's, I think, what the point of the show is, but also to bring in this new character, Devon, and have us fall in love with her and then be really invested in her as a character. And she goes forwards into whatever other medium they want to throw her into, and then we're, invested in that. So hopefully this character is good, but the fact that Dave is taking George's inspiration, I like that, obviously. It's just unfortunate the fact that they had to go with the sequel trilogy that we got. We're now stuck with what we can do within these confines. But nevertheless, whether the show is great or it's Acolyte level, I'm excited to hang out with you guys during the watch parties and really just connect with you and have fun and do all the interactions like we've been doing for almost 10 years. So looking forward to it. I will be home for that for sure, 100%. And also Vader Episode 2 premiere in LA. I'll be announcing that very soon because we're pretty much done. So, surprise. Love you guys. TheorySavers.com. See you in a little bit.
Actually be pretty cool going through the fucking Theory Sabers website. Alright, so update for anybody who is curious. She wasn't able to hold the joke for long, I guess. It was an April Fool's joke. Like I said, she was trying to bait out the fucking trolls. Probably would have got a little bit of traction if she would have kept her mouth shut, but I guess the overwhelming support for her kind of got to her feels, and she admitted to it being a joke. Y'all saw that. Such a gay joke.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's the meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. Well, it appears once again all the doomers and gloomers, all the Trump-hating leftists who seem to be taking Iran's side in this war, it appears they have one very massive problem, and that problem continues to be reality. You know, these people are so desperate for Donald Trump to fail that they can see the Iranian regime literally collapsing.
I thought the hairstyle was a little familiar, but yeah, it was a great one. I liked it. The fucking Chicago Chew was had me dying. The fucking Ember Paradox fucking ponytail had me like fucking losing it. It was great. I liked what you did there.
In front of our very eyes and still make the suggestion that we are losing, that Donald Trump is failing. Well, once again, you know, all the doomsayers are saying one thing, but the evidence is saying.
Bro, Velasco, could you imagine Ahsoka and Maul like kind of like drawing each other more into the gray, and then they just establish a whole like fucking Grey Knights faction together? That would be the wildest shit, but it would be really cool. Although, to be totally fucking fair, Maul being any type of good is just not feasible. He was raised from birth to just be a hateful fucking killer. That's all he ever was. Even in Rebels, he was just an old killer.
Something completely different, and I've got a video here which seems to back up what we've been hearing in reports over the last couple of weeks, that IRGC morale is absolutely collapsing, that Iranian soldiers are living under 24/7 fear, they're on the verge of surrendering, giving up, morale's in the toilet. Again, I get the argument of this war potentially being another endless war, another
I'll never
endless
join anybody who whines. Like, you fucking cry about it too hard.
As of right now,
It just
I'm
makes
not seeing
me
it that way. Let me go
weirded
ahead and
out.
make that argument and show you guys the most interesting updates. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so here's a clip that's now circulating all over the internet. It appears this is an IRGC soldier describing his emotional state in the current situation that they're facing in Persian. We'll do some translating magic. Take a look.
Everyone has fled, even the governor. They left and went. I look around me, no one was left here. We really don't know what to do. No news, no orders. They said to wait. Wait for what? There's nothing here for us. My heart is pounding so hard. I can feel it for myself. I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. It might be better to surrender, however it happens, before we lose whatever we still have. Say that we no longer have any hope of continuing the war. Surrendering is the best solution.
You got Iranian soldiers on the ground, basically telling the story of complete military collapse. Soldiers are fleeing, commanders are fleeing, they're living in 24/7 fear and panic, and most importantly, they don't see the point anymore. They're looking for a surrender off-ramp. Again, very different from what the IRGC spokespeople are saying on the global stage in their official propaganda releases. And I guess we gotta analyze it ourselves, what's true and what isn't, and just thinking logically, understanding the absolute decimation of Iranian military infrastructure, their top clerics and military commanders getting obliterated off the face of the earth. Well, what seems more believable? I think there's something to this. The Islamic regime's spokespeople pretend as if morale is so high, resolve is strong, they will continue fighting, they've got a plan. Oh, just wait and see, it's coming, it's coming. But it's been weeks of crickets. We haven't seen anything, any significant moves whatsoever. All we've seen is them basically hiding like cockroaches. I mean, really speaking of that, showing you what we're dealing with here. It's no global superpower, I'll tell you that. The latest media release from whatever leadership is left in Iran was recorded in an underground swimming pool. Look at these photos that are now circulating online, kind of giving me Hitler in his last moments in the bunker vibes. But that's basically been the reporting for the last couple of weeks. They're hiding in mountains, they're hiding underground. IRGC soldiers and besieged mercenaries are scared to leave their little headquarters. They're hiding in schools and hospitals. And so what is more believable? Iranian regime propaganda where they're sticking their chest out and projecting strength, or the suggestion of complete panic and collapse? I think personally one seems to connect more with the reality of what we're witnessing on the ground, and the other feels more like they're attempting to blow smoke up my ass. Let's be totally honest. And actually, speaking of collapse of morale, we're also getting reports that are leaking showing that Iran's own president, Masoud Pezeshkian, is panicking hard behind the scenes. According to media reports, he's warning IRGC leaders that without a ceasefire in the next couple of weeks, the country's economy could completely collapse. Warning of crushing inflation, the currency going into complete free fall.
They have an economy?
The potential of their energy infrastructure and electricity infrastructure falling apart as well. Again, that to me seems more connected to reality, the reality that the Iranian regime is facing, rather than what they're outwardly projecting. I mean, sure, if you're John Brennan, you'll take the Iranian regime over Donald Trump's word any day.
Well, I tend to believe Iran more than I do Donald Trump, because he could not acknowledge the truth even when it is, he's slapped in the face with it repeatedly.
But I don't live in that world. I don't live in a world of Trump derangement syndrome, taking the word of these absolutely psychotic Iranian Islamo-fascists over the president of the United States. And well, if you listen to Trump, well, this seems to be the outlook. Here's a statement on Truth Social. The United States of America is in serious discussions with a new and more reasonable regime to end our military operations in Iran. Great progress has been made, but if for any reason a deal is not shortly reached, which it probably will be, and if the Strait of Hormuz is not immediately open for business, we will conclude our lovely stay in Iran by blowing up and completely obliterating all of the electric generating plants, oil wells in Karg Island, and possibly all desalination plants, which we have purposely not yet touched. This will be in retribution for our many soldiers and others that Iran has butchered and killed over the old regime's 47-year reign of terror. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. That is not the statement of a man that is losing. I know a lot of people are trying to make the argument online that that's Donald Trump in full-on retreat as he knows that this whole thing is backfiring for him spectacularly, but that to me seems like a horribly biased interpretation interpretation, especially if you understand Donald Trump. If you've been paying attention to what he's been doing throughout his career as a politician, now this is a real credible threat. This is a president that is not slamming the brakes, but rather putting pedal to the metal, unlike any president before. He means frickin' business. And never have we seen this kind of military domination in modern history. And at this point, it's kind of a pick your side moment. What side are you on? The side of Iranian propagandists and doomsayers, or the more optimistic side? As I've maintained, I'm fully on the side of President Trump. Call me naive, call me whatever you want, but I truly believe that this president is about to deliver a historic victory. And all the naysayers, all the doomsayers, like many of our so-called NATO allies, I think they're going to be in a very bad position if and when this president succeeds.
I think it was very disappointing. You have this, and again, look, the president and our country will have to re-examine all of this after this operation is over. But one of the reasons why NATO is beneficial to the United States is it gives us basing rights for contingencies. It allows us to station troops and aircraft and weapons in parts of the world that we would normally have bases. And that includes in much of Europe. And to see that in a time of need, the United States has identified a grave risk to our national security and our national interests, and we needed to conduct this operation. And we have countries like Spain, a NATO member, that we are pledged to defend, denying us the use of their airspace and bragging about it, denying us the use of their bases.
Crazy, yeah. Like if you're a part of NATO, the U.S. military fucking owns you, and if we need your fucking resources, we're gonna take it. Like fuck that shit.
And there are other countries that have done that as well.
You know, the way they're talking, it seems it's less of a matter of if and more a matter of when. If you listen to Scott Bessent and even Marco Rubio, they're not even entertaining any discussion relating to control of the Strait of Hormuz. No, they're saying outright, we will control it.
Over time, the U.S. is going to retake control of the straits, and there will be freedom of navigation, whether it is through U.S. escorts or a multinational escort.
And as I've maintained since day one, if that happens, America will be in the most powerful global position that we have seen in modern history. You know, you could be a contrarian all you want, a big-brained foreign policy analyst, suggesting that everything that we're seeing here is the same kind of stuff we saw during the Dick Cheney era. But if you're wrong, man, will you be on the wrong side of history. Man, will the Spanish government be in such an absolutely diplomatic position. This president will have completely changed the global order, and of course the world will be thanking him for it, and those who acted so pompous and arrogant in their dissent, well, let's just say I really wouldn't want to be ya. It seems like we're reaching a breaking point in this conflict. Commanders are fleeing, soldiers are deflecting, there's a Trump ultimatum ticking over their heads, and I think very soon, something is gonna give. Anyways, that's what I got. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Bro cooked her without even trying.
Sorry, can I ask you a quick question, please?
Sure.
Who is prettier, man or woman?
Men?
Why?
Do you know what? I'll show you. No, you try.
I get it. I get it. It's actually so
Damn, discombobulated.
So fucking true. When you're at a bro's funeral and you hear a gay dude crying a bit too loud. Oh. Oh man, how I feel. How I feel after saying konnichiwa to the Latina waitress in a Chinese restaurant.
Facts.
It's a whole new level of entitlement. I almost don't believe this happened. Guess I shouldn't be too surprised. What is this?
I'm not paying for that.
What do you mean you're not paying for your nails?
I don't pay for my nails.
Is somebody here to help you pay for your nails?
No one's here to pay for my nails.
Okay, then how are you going to get this service paid?
Well, men pay for my nails.
Oh, the men usually pay for your nails?
Yeah.
Okay, is your man here?
No, I don't have a man right now.
Who's going to pay for your nails? I don't get it.
I mean, I thought you were going to pay for my nails.
Why would I pay for your nails?
Because you're a man.
But I'm not your man. I'm your nail tech.
You're not a man?
No, I'm a man, but I'm not your man, so don't get that twisted.
Is this
I'm
real?
a man, but I'm a nail tech. Like, I'm not your man to pay for your nails. It doesn't work like that, man.
But look at who I am. Don't you see who I am?
What are you talking about? I mean, you're alright. You ain't all that.
I'm hood commodity. In the hood, I'm where it's at.
This isn't. Is this real? Is this AI?
You're a hot commodity in your hood?
Yes, I am.
So who's paying for your nails? I don't get it. What's that has to do with your nails getting paid right now?
Look, you should be able to swing it this time.
Bitch, I'm not swinging nothing. You pay for your nails.
You saw this before AI? It's a skit? Yeah, what the? There's one of a daughter telling him not to tell her mom that she's getting certain nails done without her permission. I had my nails done once. I don't know if you guys saw that stream. I had my nails done once. I actually showed them on stream. And they were I did them myself. I never did my nails before. It was like the first time I ever did it. Anyway, and it was really awful, by the way. Like I hated it. I hated it. It was awful. Like I couldn't I couldn't type properly, dude. It was holy fuck. It was so bad. Jeez, very non-functional. It's like I can't pick anything up. It's just using your money to build wells in Africa, using your money to dress up as a bat and.
I would do with money. If I had like just fucking Bruce Wayne money, I would be Batman.
Oh my god! I knew it! I knew it! I knew they were. Well, I mean, while Googling very few letters are as important as the R. While Googling there are a few letters as important as the R in Gary Coleman. Oh, man. When you've had a rough day, but you don't smoke. I like that. That was rough. Okay, let's see this. Oh, that was smooth.
If I make you say 15, you've got to give me a kiss. Are you ready?
Ready.
What's 5 and 5?
10.
Where's this going? Add 5.
25.
Double it again.
50.
Yay! Give me a kiss.
Well, 15.
Yeah!
Line and sinker.
So give me a kiss.
Oh, you got it.
If I make you say 15, you've got to give me a kiss. Are you ready?
Fellas, I have a question for men.
Question for men. What are you doing in the bathroom and why the fuck is it taking you that long to poop?
It's 1:15. I'm all alone and I need you now. Said I wouldn't call, but I lost all control.
Question for men.
Facts.
What are you doing in the bathroom and why the fuck is it taking you that
The guy who takes 15 minutes out of their workday to share memes with their nearest and dearest. That is the very definition of a hero. Is there anything better than sharing memes with your nearest and dearest? I think, it keeps you laughing, it keeps you happy, it keeps you in the loop. Nothing better. Go for it.
It's true.
The guy who takes 15 minutes.
Wow, the Skybrows community is so strong.
I'd rather not say. Judge knew the moment he said, I'd rather not say.
You don't. Okay, so how did you know that the sandwich was not 12 inches? Well, did you use a pepper? What did you get? Okay, what I'm asking is, what did you use to gauge that the foot-long sandwich, if that were 12 inches, was not actual 12 inches?
Well, Your Honor, I went to another sub shop.
Okay.
And their size were 12 inches.
Okay, and how did you gauge the size?
These were only about that big.
Okay, did you use any type of instrument to measure the size? What I'm asking you, sir.
Yes.
What did you use?
I'd rather not say.
Oh, you're gonna say. What did you use?
Say you're gonna fucking say.
Did you use a ruler? Did you use measuring tape? What did you use?
Four.
And remember, sir, you are in a court of law.
Indeed. I'm a little embarrassed. I pulled it out.
No, 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 no.
Back.
No! No! What is going on here? No! Bro, you said my baby was ugly? No, I said she looked like you? Oh, okay, you're ugly. 9-year-old me trying to do a Kamehameha. 30-year-old me still trying to do a Kamehameha. So true. Almost fell off my couch in shock while watching Dexter. Encountering memes in their natural habitat is one of the modern living's great joys. DC crew, hey, do you know how cats sound, right? Dub guy, oh yes, sure, alright. Wait, is that real?
What I make when I get shots too.
Oh my god, that was amazing. The uncooked fish going home after the Titanic sank. Oh, true. Oh my god, dude. There must be so many memes. There's so many memes right now.
Doesn't even know. She doesn't even know.
Me every morning. When you accidentally sleep wrong, and your birth year starts with 19. Fuck you, Julio. The company is having a Pride barbecue tomorrow. Oh, that's nice. Did you know the first Pride barbecue is... Oh my god. Someone made another Nick Fuentes sky... Oh no.
No, it's not Argonians. No, it's not elves. It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all. The Thalmor are running Skyrim. Argonians need to shut the fuck up. Dark elves need to be imprisoned for the most part. And we would live in paradise.
The Grim Reaper physically unable to do his job.
Been here for 4 days. Starting to think I won't make it out of here alive.
Fuck, you might not even make it out of there dead.
What?
Oh, is this? Oh my god.
I can't fit through there.
Well,
is this a nutty putty?
What, you want me to call the Slim Reaper? There's only one Grim Reaper.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, go die in a hole.
I'm trying.
Oh man, that's actually so sad. Give these guys an Oscar for the best GTA live action. That's actually so good. I love it. I love it. That's great. When I'm having a good day and suddenly one of the 3 things is missing from my pocket. So true. I always get like so scared. Like, you guys ever have those moments when you're out and then like your phone is like not in your pocket? You're like, wait, I thought my phone is in the pocket, but you just like left it somewhere, like in the car or something like that, and you're just like, oh, did somebody like steal it? It's so scary. It just like, it sends like this wave of adrenaline through your body. Why does it have to be a porn game? Turn-based tactical strategy vampire cyberpunk sounds like a laser-focused perfect game for me. But a porn game, ew, no thanks. It's an adult game. Ooh, developer. It's a porn game because I'm a perv, basically. Absolute legend. I also heard something like that. Don't let the video fool you. SEALs are dangerous. I heard a group of them killed Bin Laden. Me, if a bro ever texts me thank you for everything at 2:45 a.m. Dude, that's actually so cute. I bet dudes would do that for their homies. Yeah.
Kind of how we are.
When people call you a Nazi, but you're just a Power Ranger fan. I don't understand.
I'm gonna find that and repost that.
Don't even do anything. Wait, is this? Oh, is it?
The victim's body was found this morning.
Okay.
Just like all the rest. Perfectly preserved, buried 6 feet underground. An engraved stone marking its location. Sir, you might want to come look at this.
Jesus Christ.
Next week on Cops Who Are Confused About Cemeteries.
I need all these bodies.
This is so stupid. This is so dumb.
Stuck up immediately.
Sir, some of these victims are over 200 years old. You telling me this son of a bitch is immortal?
Victim's body was found this morning.
This is so. Oh man. 7-year-old me in 2008, aware of her financial situation as my mom pulls into McDonald's.
Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Get the bad guy. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum.
Hackers in the movie steals millions of dollars from the back. Hacker in real life. Spider-Man Far From Straight.
I really like you.
I really like you too.
Sucker. Now I really like you.
Oh man. The introverts will get it. Okay, let's see if I'll get it. Me when someone shows up unannounced while my social battery is drained.
I want you to leave. Yeah, I really don't want to be doing this right now. You're coming into my house on Saturday afternoon.
Don't worry about
I'm hanging out in my game room.
Yeah, we don't need you to hang out. We need you to just do the
Don't look in there. Don't put your hands on me.
First, what we're
Get out of the door.
All right.
Go out the door.
Okay, we're going.
And don't put your hands on me.
I'm not putting my hands on. We just thank you very much.
If you did, I swear to God, I don't know what I would do. I don't live here anymore. Okay?
Thanks a lot. Nice promo. I don't want you to.
Okay, I don't know. It's not that bad. I mean, come on. It's not that bad. Chuck Norris doing his only one. Every 10 years, a legend is lost. It's true. Chuck Norris was a legend. Rare snapshot of Chuck Norris arriving to kindergarten after dropping off his parents' work. Chuck Norris's former bodyguard says Chuck loved all the memes about him. This is very clearly bullshit clout chasing, because in what world would Chuck Norris... That's a good point. That's a good point. Wow, what a fucking liar, man. Holy shit. So true. Pastor claims that... Wait, what?
I am Arya.
Wait, Pastor claims that God is a transgender badass. How absurd. Wait, what is going on? Wait, is this the person from before? That,
Fucking disgusting.
That they were going to be trans? Is it this person?
Tired of these fucking people co-opting shit that has nothing to do with them. What's up, Zayla?
They were going to be trans.
Beloved daughter of a God who loves you and me, we are called to be visible and to trust and to believe that all are made in the image of this God.
They put the gay flag like up on the altar, and they draped the thing with a trans flag.
And if that's true, then God is, and that means God is not only masculine but feminine also. It also means that God is now you know why God is such a badass. Because God is a God, period. Is God, period. And God is unapologetically God.
The problem, again, like the big, whatever, like ideology aside, the big problem here is that they, again, I said this before, they adorned like all of the stuff with stuff that's not about God. They made it about them. Like they made the altar about them.
We are called for such a time as this to glorify God with our own uniqueness, our queerness, our transness, our beauty, our love, our refusal to the notion that gender is binary and that gender is all about genital. It is so much more deep. Our sacredness, that we are loved completely as we are by God, even in the spite of a government and a majority of the world that harbors so much transphobia and hate towards. I, like you, have died to my old self, that we may be better fruit, bear better fruit with our own life.
That's crazy. Okay, what are these here? Police just uncovered a YouTube view farm after a sting operation. Phones mounted to the ceiling running non-stop for fake views.
Meu Deus do céu, são centenas.
No YouTube, é uma fazenda de visualização.
Quem montou isso aqui gastou uma fortuna.
A gente precisa chamar o pessoal da inteligência agora.
Celular até o teto.
Is it AI?
Parece uma colmeia.
Vai dar trabalho.
These are AI. One of the luckiest throws in baseball history.
Baду breaks for second. Zunino's throw.
Okay.
Into the runner, and they got him. Oh my God.
Damn, he got pegged in the fucking sack.
Badu breaks for second.
Oh my God.
Throw.
Wear a cup.
Into the runner, and they got him. Oh my goodness, that's...
He got hit right on the deck. Father Time is still undefeated.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The bot's gotta work somehow.
Man, fuck. Mom, do not buy your dad any more toys. Dad, I got in trouble with my lightsaber.
Me.
We are opponents, not enemies. Respect. Hu Yong's ankle gave out for a second.
That was a nasty kick.
Wait, what happened? Wait, what happened? Wait,
He pulled his kick.
was he about to like fucking delete him? Is that what happened?
Yeah, he pulled his fucking kick. Mad respect.
Oh, I see. He could have fucking deleted him, yeah. See, the to be honest though, like, I guess this wouldn't work if your opponent's an asshole and they're like, I'm just not gonna take it. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna forfeit or whatever, like, despite the fact that you were checkmated. But then the instant, like, one person does that, then that one person is gonna get fucked by everybody, right? So it's like, it is in your best interest to just surrender. Damn.
That's how you gotta be, man. Like, a lot of these motherfuckers are animals and will just, like, beat the shit out of people.
How can you hate men? You know, like, how can you hate men? Sure, there's some bad guys, but, like, I love this kind of stuff. Like, this, like, just like the honor, the respect.
Let me tell you, man, middle school and high school, I made a lot of my friends through fighting. You know, you'd fucking clash, you'd fucking come to understand each other's ideals and stances through these fights, and then you'd become friends afterwards. If you fought hard, you fought fair, you always got treated fairly. A lot of my friends in middle school and high school were once people who I threw hands with.
Respect, like, it's great. It's ma'am. Generate an image of a white man robbing us. That's so fucked up. I've concluded that this might be the greatest realization you can have. The greatest realization you can have. Anything you lose by being real was fake. By yay. Anything you lose by being real was fake. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's pretty real, yeah. Man has watched 0 videos about how to deal with the police and has it fully mastered.
Step out of the vehicle. I've asked you already 3 times. Calm down, buddy. 3rd time's the charm. What the attitude?
How much you had to drink today?
Not very much.
How much is not very much? You don't know? Okay. Well, you're unsteady on your feet getting out of the vehicle. Are you going to consent to field sobriety exercises?
Absolutely not. I'll do a breathalyzer.
So how much did you have to drink today?
Not enough.
Not enough? Okay. Kind of have it something like you have a thick tongue slurring your words just a tad bit, so I just want to make sure.
Because I'm old. I'm a disabled combat veteran from Vietnam.
Okay. So what I'm going to need you to do right now is I need you to put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for DUI.
DUI? What's that mean?
That means he's under the influence of alcohol beverage.
He is not. He never drinks.
She's saying you never drink. You don't drink. You said you did drink.
I did not. You said, how much have I had to drink today? I says, not much.
So what did you drink today?
I had a couple Dr. Peppers. I had a water.
No alcohol.
No alcohol.
Not one bit.
Not one. Give me the damn breathalyzer.
Step out of the vehicle. I've asked you already 3 times.
Trolling cops is always the funniest fucking shit.
Who the fuck is Leafit?
This guy is such a fucking legend. Fact check true. I've gotten 7 vaccinations and don't have any side effects. You have green hair and consider.
No, like we come up in some pussified times, man. There'd be a point in time where if you even looked at another man's wife for too long, or God forbid you actually like cheated with another man's wife, you would be in serious bodily danger from that man, right? And you would be totally justified in it, right? Yeah, people have just gotten too fucking soft. Like, you used to be able to have these fucking discrepancies and like kind of walk away with it. And nowadays, you'll just get fucking jailed and sued and fucking bitched at for defending yourself. It's pussified times, man. I grew up in a day and age where you'd either talk about shit or, you know, you'd have a quick fucking fight about it. And whoever won was fucking right. And you just moved on with your fucking life.
Yourself a cat, you are the sign of... Karen K, meow, meow self. Oh my god, bro. The package wasn't delivered. Can you send proof? Hand. What are you doing? I'm in bed, eating chips. What would you do? What would you be doing if I were with you? I would be eating chips. No, I mean, if there were no chips. Just you
I'm about to eat some chips, to be honest. I just heard my wife come back with lunch. So honestly, I know we're in the middle of a video. We got about like 10 minutes left of it. But it's pretty much just all going to be memes. So I'm not really too invested in it. I'm going to go eat lunch. I might come back a little later to play video games because today is my last day of freedom before I go back to work. So yeah, I might come back and play some video games a little later. But for now, I'm going to go eat because I'm hungry. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for the 10 gifted randomized. Love you. That was really cool of you. Yeah, the 80s was a wild time. Y'all also were able to like roll up to school with shotguns in the back of your trucks. That's something my old man talks about a lot. He was like, we literally used to get together and go hunting after school. We would have our guns in our trucks and everything just ready to haul off. But not anymore. You can't do that shit anymore. Yeah, it was fun. I'm gonna go eat lunch. I'm hungry. Catch you guys later.